FIFAe World Cup finals are back in Riyadh, here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for another fortnight of world-class esports competitions. We have top players representing their nations across 3 titles over the next 2 weeks. This week, we are firmly focused on eFootball and some intense competitions in the console and mobile tournaments. And then next week, we turn our attention to the madness and mayhem of Rocket League. But let's go back to this week and eFootball, and welcome to the SEF Arena here in Riyadh. And I want to welcome 3 amazing guests who are going to call the stories as they unravel across 4 days of eFootballing competition. We've got Chris Tunn, Stuart Wesley and Cole.
Hi.
All 3 of them are backed by popular demand, may I add, because they were here last year for the first edition and back again as well. So guys, you've done something right. Excited to be back, Chris?
I must impress somebody. I'm not too sure if there was many people, but yeah, no, I'm very excited to be here once again in Riyadh. It feels like we're always here doing something in esports, and once again, a fantastic show on offer.
Esports mecca, isn't it? Riyadh has turned out to be. It's just great to be back, and it's getting bigger and better, Wes.
Yeah, it really is. It's great to have the international recall, so to speak. But yeah, no, it's great to be back in Riyadh, in and amongst some of the best teams in the world. It's going to be fascinating over these next couple of days.
Cole, it feels a bit like the last hurrah of the esports world because it's in December,
Yes.
just before Christmas. Maybe more pressure on as well for these players.
Yeah, I mean, with Rocket League as well, we're going to be here until 20th of December, so right in the lead up to Christmas. So it would be very lovely for these players to go back with a Christmas present of a world trophy. It's a huge moment for them.
Talking of presents, are we doing Secret Santa? Who's got who? Have we chosen that yet?
I just don't feel like Wes will get me the present I want if I did have him, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not great with gifts.
We should do that. With Christmas on the horizon, we should desperately be doing Secret Santa. Maybe get the players involved as well. Obviously, we were here last year and we kind of had the first instalment of eFootball in terms of console and mobile. We'll keep on that for the time being. What are the highlights from last year that we can kind of bring to this year and we expect to be even bigger and better?
Just the amount of surprises that we had last year. In a certain sense, we didn't quite have everybody here that we were thinking was at the top of the game. This year we do, but last year it was a bit of a surprise back and forth, and it's going to be the same this year. There's some big changes which I'm sure we're going to chat about as well, but yeah, it was just the surprises. That's esports though, isn't it? You always get something you don't think you're going to get, and I'm imagining we're going to get something similar this time.
Yeah, exactly. We couldn't wait to get things started. And talking of getting started, it's not just the 4 of us up here in this glamorous studio. We have a sofa this year. We're very excited about that. We also have our reporter down on the floor for us. It's CJ. Let's check in with him right now.
Well, here we are on the floor at the FIFAe World Cup 2025. The players are setting up. The anticipation is enormous as they get ready to begin the tournament. My name's CJ. I'll be your roaming interviewer, reporter, investigator, and perhaps at sometimes instigator throughout the entire week for the World Cup. So cannot wait to get started. The players look like they cannot wait to get started. And well, I think it's time to learn about the format. I'd be really keen to explain it, but apparently you guys can't understand my voice. So let's throw to a video that might sum it up a little better than I can.
The FIFAe World Cup 25 featuring eFootball console is a unique chance for players to represent their nation on the biggest stage. Before entering the road to the World Cup, nations are choosing their own national team via direct invites, domestic trials, and the Challenger Series. Each nation is free to define its own selection criteria, regardless of domestic trial outcomes or rankings. The road starts of regional online qualifiers. This year is bigger than ever. For the first time, nations from across the globe compete in qualifiers with their extended national squad to secure their spot in the pinnacle event. The top nations from each region advance to the FIFAe World Cup featuring eFootball console to represent their nation and compete for the prestigious title. The 12 best nations from across the globe will compete with their final squad at the FIFAe World Cup featuring eFootball console. At the FIFAe World Cup featuring eFootball console, the 12 teams will be drawn into 2 groups of 6 nations each. A nation will face every other nation of their group in 2 matchups, each consisting of 1 single game. For every matchup, nations can earn 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss. After having competed on 2 group stage days, the top 4 nations from each group will progress to the next round, the knockout stage. If nations are tied on points, direct comparison, followed by goal difference and goals scored, will decide who will make it to the knockouts. The best placed team in Group A will compete against the fourth best in Group B, the second best in Group A against the third best in Group B, and so on. The knockout stage will consist of quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final. All matchups will be 2 legs with aggregate score with a tiebreaker in the form of a third game played as a golden goal. It all comes down to the final. The best 2 national teams will once again compete against each other in a double-legged matchup with aggregate score. If needed, there'll be a tiebreaker in the form of a third game played as a golden goal. The world champion will be crowned at the FIFAe World Cup 25 featuring eFootball console. Become part of history and tune in live from 10th of December to 13th of December 2025 on twitch.tv/FIFAe and find all results, news and live stream on FIFA.gg.
Well, there you have it. That's how the next 4 days will look. But these are the nations competing. We have 12 nations this year, split into 2 groups of 6 in A and 6 in B. And I don't even know where to look, boys, because there are so many big nations in each group, aren't there?
I mean, I think every single team that you look at, I can't pick out too many weak links yet.
No.
Every single time I'm looking at a team, I'm like, okay, could they beat them? Yes, potentially. Are these going to have a good game? Absolutely. There's so many stacked teams in these group stages.
Cole, do we have a group of death?
Both of them. I know that's such a non-answer, but as Chris was saying, I think there's strong teams across the board. Even teams that didn't perform too well last year have upgraded for various reasons as well. So any team you pick, there's a chance for them, which is huge for the people watching as well. If you're from one of these places, root for your team. They've got an opportunity.
Because I should have really said Group B with Indonesia defending champions, but we can't even say that, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many teams to narrow in on. But yeah, the holders Indonesia are the one to beat.
And this is the prize pool as well. $30,000 for our champions this 4 days as well. The runners-up, $18,000. So big money on the line, which is exactly what you'd expect for a world championship. So just keep your eyes on that and think, you know, if you're good enough, maybe you can be here next year as well. Well, today's schedule then, kicking off with our featured matchup at 11 o'clock. Italy taking on Thailand. It's absolutely massive. And then you can just set your alarms for any of those matchups that you want to see. If you're an Italian fan, well, you are in for a treat. Italy featuring our top 2 featured matchup. And then we've got the defending champions, Indonesia, in match 3 and 4. And we get to see Brazil runners-up against Turkey in our final matchup of the console this morning or this afternoon as it ticks over into as well. So loads of matches. They're all going to be played at the same time. Obviously, they're just the featured matchups as well. But if you want to go on FIFA.gg, you can watch every single matchup. So if your team isn't featured, not to worry, basically. Yeah, so many matchups. It's going to be hectic. I'm not actually sure how we're meant to keep across every single nation playing at the same time, but we will try. Okay, righty. So we've introduced you to our sofas here. Let's introduce you to our first caster pairing as well. We've got Harry Channon and Abdelaziz. How are you doing, guys?
Hi, Rach.
Hello.
It's great to be here. Honestly, we're back in Riyadh, and who better to stand alongside me? 10 years ago, you won the World Championship back in Munich in this very competition, Abdelaziz. So I think it's only fitting that we have you with us here in Riyadh.
First of all, good morning to you, Harry, and to the team at the studio, and everyone watching us behind the screen. Really, I am excited about today, and the feeling when I won the FIFA World Cup back in 2015 was absolutely the best feeling I could have ever had. But for now, the players, as you can see, everyone wants that trophy. And that's where the history will be made.
Yeah, history will be made here, Rachel. I mean, 363 days ago, the lights dimmed here. We crowned Indonesia as our eFootball console champion back then. I wonder if you have a favourite here, Abdelaziz. I know that's kind of tricky.
That's the question. To be honest, we have many good teams in this tournament so far. But yes, Indonesia will be the team to beat, along with Brazil.
Okay.
So if you ask me about favorite, maybe I'll go with Brazil probably.
Okay.
And you, Harry, as a Stewart?
I like to.
Stewart, I know Stewart picked Indonesia.
I like to be neutral, so I'll get back to you on that. I'll have a think. For now, though, Rachel, we're hyped, we're ready. The lights are already dimmed here, so something tells me the action is imminent here.
I was going to say that, Harry. You said the lights dimmed 12 months ago. Well, they're still dim. They haven't turned them on yet because we are waiting to really show you exactly how great our setup looks. We're here in the SEF Arena, and it is special. FIFAe do a great job every single year at just getting bigger and better. And we're ready. I can hear we're ready. The lights are about to go up behind us, so let's get into things in terms of eFootball and console. Enjoy.
Quick question. How do you feel about this stage?
It's good. For me, it's good.
How do you feel?
Good.
Really good?
The stage is amazing.
Enjoy it. They didn't show us your best game that you have. Enjoy it.
Okay, how do you feel about the stage?
It's amazing. It's really motivating. I really want to play. This is crazy, yeah.
Looks amazing.
Guys, this is different. When I enter, I feel like football, you know? I'm in the box. So now, just play J. Victor style. Joga bonito, Brazil. Come on.
And how hyped are you to play here actually?
We are ready. We are ready to win the competition. There's nothing that we can say. Like they are dreaming of it. So we are ready to go, and we are excited about it too. 200% hype.
Any words to your fans?
Just enjoy because I'm already enjoying being here. You're gonna enjoy the stream.
You are here because of you, because of CBF, because of Brazil. And thank you so much.
We'll try to our best what we can do. So just see and enjoy that moment.
Welcome everybody to the FIFAe World Cup 2025 finals featuring eFootball on console.
12 national squads have made it through one gauntlet and straight into another. Here are the finals live in Riyadh. We're your hosts Milosh and Veracity, proud to bring you all the action live from the eFootball stage.
Action you mentioned, action is certainly what's going to be taking place on this very stage, in this very arena, because it's not only national pride that's on the line, but also a hefty prize pool of $100,000. So with that being said, let's give a warm welcome to the stage. Selamat datang to our 2024 victors. It is Indonesia. Binon Boys and Shinx Elga.
Bienvenido, Mexico! The Arsenal Style and Andre Pumas.
Marhaba to Morocco! Represented by Azadine and Uni.
Povitaime, Poland. Represented by Ostribuch and Zilo.
Ahlan wa sahlan to Jordan. Saif Al-Haka and Mohammed Al-Sajali.
Yukozo, Japan. Represented by X and Tess.
Hoş geldin, Türkiye. Arda Galazo and Mujahid.
Bienvenido, Chile. Represented by Waghorn and Fixito.
Toddler, Thailand. Frank X and Jin Sui.
Hayakum Allah, our host nation, Saudi Arabia. Gol Iniesta and Figo.
Benvenuti to Italy. Etorito and Naples.
And last but not least, Bem-vindo Brazil. J. Victor and Henriquinho. These are 12 teams representing their respective nations, but only one will lift the FIFAe World Cup trophy this week.
Well, Milos, national pride is on the line and the pressure is mounting in the arena with us. So without further ado, let's throw it over to our studio.
Thanks, Milos. Thanks, Veracity. I have to say there, Japan had the best introduction with their moves. I mean, that was choreographed to perfection, guys.
Love to see it. Actually, they've just taken my Mandela's favourites from the tournament purely off that. The chemistry is very clearly there between the teams.
There was so much energy down there as well, wasn't there? Getting ready. These guys, you know, they mean business, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry, especially for the new teams that are here, like Italy, for example. I think this is the moment where you start to realise that you are here to represent your country. I think up to this point, where it's maybe fairly abstract, now it begins to hit you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that shone through for me in that opening ceremony was the personalities. You could just tell from each of those nations that they all have their individual kind of characteristics that they're bringing to the table. And it was great to see it. And I think they've already earned some fans at home already. Japan have with that. That was Dragon Ball Z, if I know my stuff correct. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Some of them need to learn from Japan and come up with something better for tomorrow. You've got 3 more days, guys. No pressure. Okay, well, we mentioned, or we saw it earlier, at 11 a.m. we kick things off. So we've got just around 10 minutes left before we get into our first round of actions. And the featured matchup we are going to be focusing on is a massive one. It's Italy going up against Thailand. Boys, just set the scene for the audience at home who don't know about these two teams.
I think it's what we've kind of been coining as, it's the old guard against the new here. You think of Etorito and his history as a champion for Italy. This guy has been around for so many years and was so dominant at his stage. Now going up against the new world champion. This is our very first game of the tournament. Well, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, box office. If you are tuning into eFootball for the first time, this is the game that you can watch. First game up. Again, fantastic. I mean, Etorito, 3 times world champion, 4 times runner-up. It just writes itself. First world title at 13. And look at Jin Sui. He's got, what, 15 years old, a world title to his name. It's incredible.
Jin Sui, though, he's got to be the one we are looking at now. We can talk about Etorito, it's maybe in the past. Jin Sui is maybe next gen.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you turn up as a world champion, then you're going to turn a few heads, and that certainly will put some fear factor into these opponents. It's interesting as well, because for Thailand last year, they really struggled. They were second bottom of the group stage. I think they only beat Costa Rica. They might have nicked another win en route as well, but definitely second bottom. And that's because at that point, Jin Sui, after qualifying with him, he wasn't old enough to come along. Now he's here. He's truly here to represent Thailand, and they are a very different beast this year around.
They are indeed. Shall we hear from Thailand and Jin Sui and Frank X?
ก็รู้สึกดีใจที่ผ่านเข้ารอบมาที่ริยาดได้เพราะว่ามันยากมากที่จะมาที่ริยาดได้ครับก็รู้สึกดีใจที่สามารถพาทีมชาติไทยผ่านเข้ามารอบนี้ได้เพราะว่ามันยากมากที่จะเข้ามาถึงรอบนี้ได้และเป็นรอบไฟนอลด้วยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับรู้สึกดีใจที่พาทีมชาติไทยมารายการนี้ได้เพราะว่าก็ไม่ค่อยได้มาเพราะว่าบอลไทยบอลใหญ่ก็ไม่ค่อยได้ไปบอลโลกพอเป็นe-sport แล้วคือได้มาก็รู้สึกดีใจมากๆดีใจมากๆก็มันก็สามารถเป็นไปได้เพราะว่าการแข่งขันอะไรก็เกิดขึ้นได้ก็ถ้าเกิดชนะขึ้นมาก็นั่นแหละก็รู้สึกดีใจมากๆ
How crazy is it that Jin Sui has never represented Thailand yet he's already a world champion? That just blows my mind.
I mean, he's just a young boy, isn't he? I think, you know, having that experience though already at his age, that's going to help him a lot on this kind of stage. At least it's not the first time he's had to come to a big tournament. Of course, he's gone on to win. Obviously, this international stage is a bit of a different pressure, but at the same time, he has that pressure of being in a global final already. Now he's in this moment. He should be well prepared.
Cole, in terms of Team Thailand there, they both represent Buriram United. So they know each other. They already have that kind of cohesive nature. The Italian team don't have that. Can they lean on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think that'll be a big help as well, because the solo game to the 2v2 game is such a big difference, and it's a huge question mark from some of these great individual players. Now they're playing in a 2v2 format, a different 2v2 format as well, with Dream Team as opposed to Authentic Team. Are they able to step up in the same way? So having that cohesion could be absolutely massive. I mean, what I would say is that Etorito has won a duo world championship before, but not with Maples. So yeah, it's a question of how those two mesh in the same way.
And the coach, well, he's experienced within the team in terms of Team Thailand as well. He's actually the older brother of Frankex.
Yeah, and it's lovely to see those wrinkles that happen within esports in terms of those stories that you see. You know, in terms of casting your across the rest of the tournament. Obviously, I know we're zooming on Thailand, but you've got the brothers that represent each other in Poland as well. So there's a real family feel of going, am I the best player in my house? I'm not sure.
I think they both are sure. Yeah, I think you've got to be sure you're the best. You know, both of them have to be to get to this level.
They look like they're really setting up as well at the moment, Team Thailand. And I'm talking about setup because setup has been a big factor in this year's eFootball console and mobile. In terms of, we've had a draft this year, guys. So can you explain to everyone at home, if you can, the draft and the process of picking the in-game players for each nation?
Yeah, I think I've finally wrapped my head around it. So phase one is you get to pick three. You get to pick 3 key players that are then selectable or can be duplicated across other teams. You then have phase 2, which you then had a draft system where the guys were, I think it was like a group call where it was we can go and pick players from a pool. You pick your next 10 players, and then phase 3 is the rest of the pool. So you have that pool to work with, which the guys have now picked. So they've now rounded out their squads. They've picked their goalkeepers, all of that good stuff. It's only when it really gets into phase 4, which I'm sure we'll get into way later in the week, is where it gets really interesting.
How are they selected to go first? Because obviously if you're the first nation to pick, you got the pick of the best players.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been judged based on their performances in the qualification phase. So say, for example, if you went undefeated or if you won 14 games as opposed to 13, the goal differences, all that kind of coefficient kind of works out in that manner.
Who would have been your top picks, guys? Who did you have to have in your team? Cole, do you want to go first? Who would have been your must?
Pick Messi would be nice, I think. In any game, in any style of football, I'd want the big Argentinian.
So Messi now, you can't have him now, Tan.
Okay, well that's absolutely fine because I was never going to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
where he's going.
Yeah,
That's exactly where I'm going. Where some of the teams have went. No, we are going big Dan Burn. Physicality is a massive thing when it's come down to this year's meta, and what we've seen from the draft, a lot of teams going massively physical. Dan Burn is in somebody's lineup. I've seen him somewhere along those lines.
He will appear at some point.
And he definitely will appear. And I don't know if you've noticed, I am a Newcastle fan.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, with a Newcastle fan, he's always going to go towards Dan Burn. But
awfully biased.
For me personally,
Stansfield for you?
It's no, not quite. No, I think with me, I kind of looked at the legends that they brought into the game, and for me personally, as a childhood favourite, Ronaldinho, just fun incorporated on a football field, and within eFootball, he's one of the most dangerous players to have in your arsenal, and I know that there's a couple of teams that have got him.
A varied selection. I like that you weren't all going to go for the same one as well, because you're not allowed to do that in terms of the draft. We heard earlier that the casters were giving their early predictions for the entire tournament. So with that in mind, I think we've got a few of yours as well, just to throw up and show everybody who you guys are going for. I don't know what you've gone for, so let's see. Da, da, da. I can't read that from here. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, guys. Can anyone help me out here?
I kind of went against the grain a little bit. I'd seen these boys went for Italy, and that's why I went for Thailand. No, honestly, I think this is a harder one to call, in absolute fairness. We don't really know. I think when you look at it on paper, it's a difficult one to call. Is it going to come down to experience over the years in these global competitions, potentially? As far as the phone book goes, though, in single players, I think Thailand is the one to go for, but at the same time, I think it's harder. It's always different when it comes down to co-op, right?
Why have you both gone for Italy then?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I look at the old schoolness of Etorito and go, is that experience just going to be too much? And then you look at Naples, formerly got European experience with the Italian national setup, has got experience of playing co-op. They both played in official tournaments where they play as a co-op, not necessarily together, but they'll have the experience of relying on each other, and I think that's going to really play out here.
Yeah, they're not necessarily 1v1 specialists. It's also the fact that I think Jinsui is such a good player. We know that you have to be the world champion, but he is so young, and this is his first match. There's every world where Thailand struggle in game 1 and then improve as the tournament goes on. I think maybe in 3 or 4 matches it would be, maybe Thailand would be just about shading it. But for now, experience will tell.
Well, interesting to get your thoughts exactly on it. Should we see if we can get everyone at home to get involved as well? If you want to join us on Twitch, who will win? You can either go for Italy, like Cole and Wes have done here, or Thailand, like Chris decided to go for. Who will win? Have a little look. Join us in the chat on Twitch, FIFA.gg. You can decide who you think will win this featured matchup in the opening round of the opening day here at the FIFAe World Cup for eFootball console. Well, the headsets are going on now, which means we are about time to get ready. About 4 minutes, if I'm looking at my clock. This is when they mean business. You can see Eterito there, maybe just going through tactics with Naples. He's obviously the clear leader.
I think he slots into that role very well in the sense that he has a co-op world title to his name, and I think just from, it's almost like a real world football where you look to your leader, you look to your influential player. I think that's what tends to kind of ring true here with Italy. Of course, at the background there, you've got the Venom as well, who's, again, a very knowledgeable coach, former player as himself as well. So they've got a really good collective unit, and I wouldn't be surprised that they're dipping into that experience well already.
He's standing back, the coach, at the moment. Is that because he has nothing to add at this particular moment? He wants just the team to build, Cole?
Well, a good coach will know when to get involved and when to leave his players to it, and it does seem that Italy and Thailand as well, that their coach is more than happy to let players talk things through. I don't mind that. What I would want to see is if they're starting to struggle, the coach needs to know when to get involved and maybe, tap his players on the shoulder and say, look, let's take a second and fix what's going wrong.
And how relaxed do the Italian team look as well? Chilling.
I mean, Italian's not necessarily known.
They're waving at us, they can hear us. Hi.
Because I think they're so relaxed in this atmosphere, and I think that does kind of point to the predictions from the boys as well, in the sense of that experience on the big stage. I did talk about from Thailand's point of view. Of course, we've got players who just went on to win a world championship on that side, but at the same time, you can't replicate that. Those multiple years of experience. I remember Eterito's first tournament, and that is so long ago at this stage as well. He's done it so many times. This will be nothing new to him whatsoever.
That's my point, though. Was it so long ago? He first started in esports age 9. I think his dad took him to a tournament and won his first world title at age 14. As we just see who you guys at home think are going to win. Okay, 84% Thailand. Wow. Okay, boys.
I'm a man of the people.
Throw some shade over you two. Chris, you're okay.
We're behind enemy lines now, Cole.
Well, I imagine it's because there's lots and lots of people from Thailand watching this, right? The Southeast Asian countries, they love their eFootball.
But, has Eterito been there, done it, and it is a long time ago? Like, we're talking years. He's now 28. He won his first world title at 14.
I mean, the question always rises is that how hungry are you when you've already done it all? But I would say from a personal point of view is that those are representing himself and his co-op team. It's a very different thing when you bring national pride into it, and especially with how passionate I've seen the Italians get when they get firing. They are a dangerous proposition. I think that's why you find Eterito and Naples and Venom here, is because that fire still burns within them.
The fire will still burn as well, because he is playing the new world champion. He's not going to want to be considered washed up. He's not going to want to be considered, yesterday's news. And being able to make a statement here against him will be massive.
Yeah, it's an extra step of a challenge, right? You sort of say, all right, you're the new kid on the block.
Yeah,
Let me show you exactly what a world champion looks like.
And Eterito, who did compete in those world championships as well, got to the semi-final stage. So maybe that was a good showing for him coming here. Wes, what would you say in terms of that performance?
I think it shows that the level is still there for him. The question will always be is that can he still be that guy? And it certainly proves that he can still do it at that level, and it will be a big confidence boost that type of finish, being in the semi-finals of an event, it will show that he's still got that confidence and he can display that now to the world.
Brazil, they're of course playing as well, runners-up from last year. Looking a little bit stressed out there, the team just sat there. Jay Victor and Henriquinho just maybe having a few thoughts of their own.
Now, I was told that one of the Brazilian players, can't remember which, was going to have a R9 haircut, but I cannot see that. So that you lie to me.
No. That would be Juninho, the current reigning mobile world champion.
Oh, that's a mobile player. Oh, okay.
Spoiled the surprise.
Remember, guys, console first, mobile comes this afternoon. This afternoon in terms of here, wherever you're watching, it's in about 5 hours' time, okay? So come back and join us if you were hoping to see your favourite mobile players. But back to our featured matchup, which is Italy, which they are taking on, of course, Thailand. It's a massive matchup. We have a former world champion up against the current world champion, and we are ready to kick off here in Riyadh for the FIFAe World Cup Finals eFootball console. Let's get this thing started.
If you want to claim to be the best, you gotta face the best.
Gratefully, in Indonesia, there is so many great football players. It helps us to maintain the highest level.
You have to put everything you can and try and find the best. Maybe at the start you lose all your games, but you can't learn from someone that's not better than you.
そういうパートナーと一緒にできるこの日本ならではのすごい楽しい試合ができるというか、なんか思い切ったプレーができるっていうのがすごい日本の特徴かなっていう。
ก็คงเป็นนี่พี่ทีมเวิร์คที่ดีที่สื่อสารเข้าใจแล้วก็รู้ใจกันในการเล่นเลย
We are good partners and this is the reason Chile wins this tournament.
التحضير والتجهيز النفسي هو العامل الأساسي للشيء هذا.
I think my presence here is normal. My objective is win that competition.
It always starts with discipline and hard work.
I believe there's always something you can do better every time, even though you're winning.
طبعا انت تقدر تكون افضل لاعب بتفوق على الاخرين وتثبت ادائك ولازم ما تخاف من المستويات العاليه بالعكس تثبت حالك.
Hard work and consistency, as everyone says, is really the key, because if you really want something, you need to train a lot, sacrifice, and then like this you can become the best.
It's so hard, honestly. You need to sacrifice things in your life when you think about your game. What you need to do to be the best.
There's no shortcut to it, just hard work. There have been many sacrifices, but I could do it all over again. It's all worth it.
Well, 363 days ago, we were right here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Almost a year later, we are back. Who will win the crown this time? Will Southeast Asia steal the show once again? Or perhaps the crown will go somewhere else? My name is Harry Chan, and thank you so much for joining us. It's my pleasure to introduce you to my co-commentator for match number 1. It's Abdulaziz, the 2015 world champion of this very competition. Abdulaziz, fantastic to have you here. We have Italy ready to take on Thailand. Which way do you see it, my friend?
Oh yes, what a game we have in our hands. Italy that has probably multiple world champion, which is El Torito. And we have also Thailand, where they have, let's say, a very talented player. But we are talking about 2 versus 2 here. It is not 1 against 1 anymore. It's 2 versus 2. It's a combination of 2 players. It's really difficult match.
Well, it is indeed. And it looks like Italy here starting really well. Oh! As Torito takes the first strike, he'll win his team a corner.
That was really nice fake shot. at the edge of the box, and he tried to put it, let's say, on the far post, but that was a very good save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, a much needed one indeed. It's one thing I love about this competition is we get to see the heart rate monitors as well. So
oh my God.
You see Esterito there, bottom left, 134. He saw that chance to score the first goal of this competition.
Yeah.
Corner though for Italy, punched away. Second chance perhaps on the way soon for the Azzurri. Of course, didn't feature last year. They'll be chomping at the bit to try and make something happen. What a force they've got with them, of course.
Yeah, as we can see, yeah, we have 6 minutes passed already. Italy is like controlling the game, creating more chances, trying to take full advantage. Or, I mean, to be honest, we didn't see much of Thailand at the moment.
Yeah, it's been defensive work, the name of the game. Elsewhere, we have an early goal. It's Turkey taking on Saudi Arabia and the host nation behind early on. So Turkey continuing where they left off last year.
Oh, yes. I mean, that was very nice goal, you know. Khulit, and then through. Very good finish. Very nice start from Turkey. But yeah, it is still too early. I think there is another goal also from Jordan, probably.
Well, we'll keep an eye on around the grounds for now. Thailand are venturing forward for their first game. That one, though, flagged for offside. Here is that goal you were talking about, Abdulaziz.
Oh my God, Jordan is leading 1-0 against the favorite team, Indonesia.
That is a very, very big shock there. I think that was Virgil van Dijk up from the corner that finished that goal there.
Yes. But, you know, as we said earlier, it doesn't matter if you are the current world champion or you have won multiple champions, World Cup champions. You are here, you need to prove that. And that shows the level is very close.
Well, Italy venturing forward here. It's Naples here with a chance, blocked at the first time of asking by Thailand. It will come right back at them, though. The Azzurri trying to turn the screw here in the opening 20. But elsewhere, there has been a goal between Morocco and Mexico. This the second of the game, an equaliser by Morocco.
Wow.
All action here.
Oh my God, goals, you know, coming in. And oh, Mario, nice goal. You know, as far as we see at the moment, especially on this game, Italy took full advantage and they tried. Yeah, and they are creating more chances, but sometimes if you do not score, you will definitely concede.
Well, here's the replay. First real chance of the game by Thailand. That had the heart rate spiking on the blue side of the stage. The players locked into their pods down on the arena floor for the next 3 rounds. Approaching the first 25 minutes of the game. Thailand corner, headed into danger and dealt with, I believe, by Italy. And now have a chance now to venture forward themselves.
Yes, as we can see at the moment, we are talking about 2 different teams with 2 different play style. Indonesia or Thailand came from Asia, and Italy, the, let's say, European classic style, where they try to keep the ball and create chances either from the wing or from the middle.
I can tell you there's been a goal elsewhere. They had a miserable time last year, but the Blue Samurai of Japan have struck here. It's Figo, I believe, who tucks this one home to score first. So Japan on the board here in the first round of matches.
Oh yes, I mean, who expected that Jordan will lead against Indonesia? And now also we see that Saudi Arabia is also losing against Turkey. And yeah, it's pretty close here, huh?
Yeah, that chance almost for Thailand, but for the referee's assistant holding the flag up. So the first half still 0-0 between Italy and Thailand, the battle of 2 world champions. Cannot be split so far.
Oh yeah, I think we have a goal here.
Well, here's the goal you're talking about. It's
bullet
2-0. And that makes it 2, I believe.
Oh, yes.
So 2-0 to Jordan.
Oh my God, Jordan, I mean, they come here for business, you know? Oh, that's a nice goal.
Very nice goal against the nation that won it handedly last year.
You know something, always the first game is like the hardest game. If you do not win, if you do not play well, sometimes it will affect, let's say, the other games. And I think that's what's exactly happening with Indonesia at the moment.
Oh, chance for Thailand to trouble the Italian defence, but, well, looking elsewhere, it seems that Indonesia, and it seems so strange to say this, they're the nation that have to stop the rot earlier on in game.
Exactly.
In game 1.
Exactly.
But late on in the first half, Thailand corner on the far side. The Italians famous for their defence. Can they produce a defensive performance here? They'll need to at the latter stages of the first half. And that one cleared out of danger, out for a goal kick. Just looking at the heart rates. 130 plus for both of our Thai representatives.
Yeah, sometimes being a little bit nervous is good for the player to stay more focused.
So Fonket tries to pump one forward. Jusmi on the ball now, crosses it early, tries to make the goalkeeper work, called into action, and I wonder if there's maybe one last attack of the half here. Which way will it go? To Italy or Thailand? It's been a bit of a slow start really for both nations, but I think the referee would have seen enough at the end of half number 1. Our first 45 minutes of our featured match ends goalless.
Yes, I think we saw Italy playing really well in the first 15 minutes in game time. And then it's all about Thailand, to be honest. But still, the game is very close. I think it will be a draw, I think, with the way both teams are playing. Oh, that was very close.
Yeah, we'll jump into Mexico against Morocco. The Mexicans last year did not compete in this competition this year, proving that they're worthy of being here. That one, was a strong save, and it needed to be. So we'll just follow this one through to half-time. As the corner comes in, we're going to be looking a lot for Jan Koller, the tall man, the target man in the box, trying to head and finish those ones home. There is the cross, but the header off target, just flattered to deceive there.
That was so close. I mean, how could Cristiano miss something like that? But yeah, until now, the big surprise for me is Indonesia losing 2-0 against Jordan.
Yeah.
Is Jordan the dark horse?
They could well be. I mean, Saif Al-Haka, he is someone who has been there or thereabouts in the 1 versus 1 game, does so well in the Arab League, as Mexico here are trying to pour forward. He would love to put Jordan on the map in the FIFAe World Cup featuring eFootball console 2025. But that one is at half-time now, 1-1. We'll jump into the second half here. It's a South American derby, Brazil-Chile.
Yes.
And I think a lot of eyes this tournament, Abdelaziz, will be on João Victor. He talks the talk, but more often than not, he can back it up as well with his skills. He's a different type of player, likes to use those skill moves.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of 2 versus 2, because it's not only about you, João. You have to be really good with your partner to know when you can attack, when you create chances, when you defend together, and then let's see and take it from there. But up until this moment, Chile is playing really well, and they give Brazil hard time.
Yeah, Brazil definitely the favourites in that match, but back on over to our Battle of the World Champions. The second half is underway now between Thailand and Italy. They're going to tweak some things, so let's go and see how Japan and Poland are doing. Obviously, we saw Japan get that earlier goal. Poland will be disappointed with how that went down, but Japan last year, they really never got going. They made it so difficult on themselves. They tried everything they could. They made half-time substitutes of players holding the controllers. And they were out in the group stages. But Poland, well, that's a really nice
what a save.
Saved well. It will be a Polish corner here early on in the second half.
Probably losing from last year for Japan. Let's say gave them a lot of experience to come again and try, because winning against Poland is not something easy at all.
Certainly is not. The Poles have a corner, far side. I still remember last year, as we go back to our featured match between Italy and Thailand, just acts of Japan holding his head in his towel once Japan got eliminated in the group stages. He was absolutely heartbroken. So it's a new year, a new opportunity, as Italy's corner is defended well, or has it, as the goalkeepers had to come a long way. It's cleared though.
I mean, until now, Italy need to find solutions. They need to do something. It's either they need to create chances from the middle. Okay, here is another goal.
That's the third time of
Mexico,
asking.
yeah, Mexico is leading. Oh, finally, we see the first goal of this match. And I think Italy, yes. So Italy is leading 1-0. Thailand. They played well so far, but I think that was very well deserved goal.
Yeah, you can just see it.
Oh, nice
it's
goal.
Headed down, isn't it? This all stems from a mistake in the midfield by Thailand. And you cannot give Eserito and Naples that kind of opportunity, because that will come back to bite you. They've made them pay. And Thailand now trail Italy 1-0.
I think Italy played really smart in this game. They waited patiently for the goal, and once they had the chance...
Oh, Indonesia on the board.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what happened with Italy. Now, it's all about, let's say, defense, because they may only need this goal to win this match.
Yeah, based on how Thailand have been attacking, you definitely think that their goals have been coming few and far between. Eserito on the ball now. Tries to weave his way in and find his countrymate. He'll come back out here. Long-range strike maybe available.
Nice.
Oh, who is that? Oh,
what a ball.
In the box, but offside. Just went a bit too early.
You know, I think the chemistry between the two players of Italy is like really, really good. The movement, the weight, the timing of the pass, it shows there is a huge chemistry between these two players. And probably that's what El Torito and Naples were working on, you know?
Absolutely. Here in the South American derby, Brazil-Chile, still 0-0, and with only 10 minutes plus a little bit of change left on the clock, we're starting to see those heart rates creep up now. We're in crunch time in this match. Elsewhere, Japan still lead Poland 1-0. I'm looking between Saudi Arabia and Turkey. That one is 2-2.
Yes.
So goals around the grounds make the results so interesting here, Abdulaziz.
What a game. I mean, 2-2, the first game. Who did you predict?
I would have thought Turkey there. So that is really, really fascinating. But here, Poland, they would love an equaliser, but Japan is standing strong. Back to our featured match, Thailand having to defend.
Of course, that's what they have to do. But if they want to come back in this game, they will need to come a little bit out of defense and try to create chances.
0-0, Brazil-Chile. Something tells me there's a bit of drama to come here between these two nations in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's only a matter of one goal, to be honest.
On paper, Brazil, by far and away the favourites.
Is that...
And well, is this the chance? No. Smartly out with Chile. And Fixito and Waghorn, well, they have potentially produced the first steal of a result, if you will, of this tournament so far. 4 minutes left, and Brazil starting to pour forward. There might even be 3 points in it for them here if they can find a breakthrough with the Brazilian defence.
And yeah, I mean, to be honest, Chile, they are playing really, really well. I mean, the chemistry between the two players, it shows in the game. They are controlling the game up until this moment. Nothing much left. And Brazil, you know, but you know, that's what happens with always. I mean, the first game, believe me, the first game is always like the hardest game.
No, Italy still chasing a second goal here. As Thailand are being well and truly looked at.
Oh,
Mexico
probably, yes.
To make it 3-1 against Morocco there.
Yeah.
Great start for Mexico, of course, did not feature last year. They're proving their worth. So 20 in-game minutes remain for Italy to defend their lead and for Thailand to try and ask some kind of question to the Azzurri and see if they can find at least one chance here. But it's been all Italy so far,
yes,
from what we've seen.
Honestly, I mean, Italy, from the very first minute, they were controlling the game. They were playing how they want. They scored the first goal, and they are probably closer to score the second goal more than Thailand coming back to this game, to be honest.
Well, here is Hullet for Italy. One of their phase one players, their key players. They chose one of the first 3 players on the team sheet for them.
Yeah, CR7, Van Dijk and Gullit for Italy.
The tactic seems to be working so far. The draft seems to fit their play style. At least that's what we're seeing so far against one of their toughest opponents here in the group, in Group A. That's another Thailand mistake. Esserito on the ball, out to Naples now. Far side to Hullet. This is the 3-time world champion Esserito. Can't find his countryman though. And now Thailand, can they break? Nice, still there. What can the world champion of this year do? Nice ball roll, stunning strike as well. But blocked, and Italy survive.
Still almost 7 in-game minutes time left. Thailand, they will need to change something because it seems the current formation and tactic is not really working. Otherwise, I think Italy will, let's say, seal the deal in this game.
That's a really nice chance though for Thailand. Forces the save from Italy.
Yes, that's what they need to do. They will need to be a little bit more creative. Go to the wing, try to find gaps, and strike from there.
It's that epic Christian Vieri chosen in phase 2 by Thailand with the best chance of the game for them so far. Well, reigning champions Indonesia in their first match are staring down the barrel of defeat, but here's a really nice chance. Here's Elga, crosses it through!
Oh, wow. They came back.
What a time to jump to this match. Rizky Faidan, the man on your screen, equalises with time left on the clock. And Jordan, they'll be kicking themselves. 2-0 up, it's now 2-2.
I mean, you cannot throw 2-0 lead away easily that way. But it shows how good Indonesia are. Because to come back against not an easy team like Jordan, and probably they can also add another goal to win this game, you know?
Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Indonesia back on level terms. Doubt them at your peril. I just wonder if we've really seen enough from Thailand so far in this game to see an equaliser from them here. There's been 1, maybe 2 good chances. Something tells me Italy have that defensive mentality to survive here. So 90th minute. Cleared by Etorito.
You know,
Italy have possession. It's so tough to get the ball back, isn't it?
of course it is. And I think... Oh, okay, I think there is one more chance probably.
But the Italian shirts are just diving in. They're putting their bodies on the line here at the FIFAe World Cup 2025 with Italy in possession of the football. And we're in the 4th of 4 minutes added on. This is the last chance here for Thailand. Surely not. It's John Swee trying to cross it through, but it's cleared by Italy, and Italy win 1-0. The battle of the world champions will go to the veteran on your screen, the Azzurri, with a big 3 points to kick off their FIFAe World Cup 2025 campaign.
Yeah, what a win. I mean, honestly, Italy played really, really well in this game. They controlled the game from the very first minute until the last second. They scored the goal they needed, where they won the match with. And honestly, we didn't see much from Thailand, but they still have plenty of games. They can definitely come back.
Well, what a fantastic 3 points for that man. You can see him preparing, just taking a look around the grounds. The last dregs of matches in heat number 1 is now well and truly in the books.
Yes.
The 16-year-old world champion defeated in his first match on national duty. That one will definitely sting. But on the hearing, Milos is down on the floor with the 3-time world champion, securing 3 big Italian points.
3 big Italian points for the Azzurri. As you say, I'm here with Etorito now. First of all, your heart rate was high throughout this whole game. It took a while to get the first goal and the only one in against Thailand. What was so difficult to break through their defense, and how did you break the Thai defense?
Yeah, at the beginning we knew that it was hard to break their own defense because they are really strong there. At the beginning we had 2 chances to score with Romario. I don't remember the other one, but then we just continued to push in offensive way. And I say to my teammates, just stay calm. It will arrive the goal after one time, just one shoot we score, and then we just relax and wait to just don't lead the goal, you know.
And it really continued well until the end. Now, next up, you guys get to play against Brazil, and they ended up tying 0-0 against Chile. Is there anything you'd like to say to them before your game?
In reality, nothing. We know that every player here is one of the best in the world, so we have just to relax, continue to do our games, and try to win these other 3 points for continue our leading.
There you go. Thank you very much, Etorito. That is it from Etorito and the Azzurri. Back to the studio.
Thanks so much, Milos. Yeah, what a way to kick things off there. Italy, congratulations to them. Congratulations for you guys as well for picking them. Sorry, Chris, you went with Thailand.
Yeah, well, I think it was a fair assumption. It was a 1-0 game. It's not like they got battered, Rachel.
No, but still, a win's a win,
no,
and loss is a loss.
I'll take it on the chin. Look, it was a tight game, but I think I kind of agree with Abdul. Italy really controlled that. It didn't feel as if Thailand threatened too much until we got really late on, of course, where there was a big save that came through. But other than that, it really was, I don't want to say it was a walk in the park for Italy by any stretch, but it was pretty comfortable for the most.
We thought we might see more cagey affairs at the beginning of these kind of matchups, and that's kind of what we saw there. Wes, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think, first game nerves, first, trying to establish your own rhythm to really get going in a competition. But Italy was a prime example of just being compact, getting your goal, taking your opportunity, and then seeing it out. And outside of that one chance that was towards the end, Thailand didn't really look that comfortable, but you would think that they will start to grow into it as the tournament goes on.
Big statement as well, though, isn't it? The fact that Jin Sui as well didn't get that opening win for the rest of the nations who might go, oh, well, this is the world champion, and he hasn't got a win on the board to open up his campaign.
Yeah, we saw moments of why Thailand can be so dangerous. There was a couple of skill moves, I think about 15 minutes left, that led to a lovely chance. So I do think that Thailand will improve as they go on, and I think this was the opening for them to do so. But yeah, I mean, I can't think of a more Italian scoreline than a 1-0 win, a controlled 1-0. It's beautiful when this replicates real football to me.
Because you'd have thought, in terms of Italy, they would be more offensive, wouldn't you say, Wes?
I think it was control. I think you would have expected them to be a bit more aggressive and be a bit more on the front foot, but I think that between Eterito, Naples and Venom, I think they are comfortable knowing that, as Cole rightly said, 1-0's enough. They are very much a points on the board type of team. They came through their qualification stage completely undefeated, so they know how to win games, they know how to close them out.
Can they move up a notch? You know, can they change gears? Is this very much gear 1 and they can go all the way to 5 or 6, Chris?
I think all teams probably can, I would say. Look, we know that it's going to be KGFS. I'm sure we're going to talk about some of the other results. There were some surprises there as well. So, yeah, I think a lot of the teams here will start to find a different gear. It's game number 1 of day 1. There's a lot more to come.
Do you look at game number 1 as the warm-up match in terms of esports?
Yeah, I think at any esport, I mean, this is a little bit different because it is sort of best of 1 per match, so the warm-up has to be the entire thing, as opposed to game 1 in a best of 5 or best of 3 or whatever. So it's tough for Thailand, but I think even losing it, the fact that they were competitive is something they can take into the next game.
Well, we have something new as well for you guys this year. We are going to have a deep dive into the heart rates of the competitors every single matchup, and we can see if they're in zone 1 and they're in the warm-up, they're controlled, or if they're up into zone 5 and they're really going full throttle. I don't know how they were. We could see a little bit glimpses of it during that matchup, but let's see exactly how the players were feeling out there, starting with Naples. This is his first game. It fluctuates quite a lot there, boys, doesn't it? I mean, what does it max out on? I've actually got to get out of my chair for this one to try and see.
152 is the max.
166 is the top line, but it maxed out 152.
Yeah, which is
That's not that bad.
But you can kind of see, at least from my eye looking at the perspective.
3-4.
Yeah, I mean, but looking at it, it's start of the game, nerves getting into the start of it. Then you've got the middle where it peters out a little bit. Then the goal goes in, it spikes up again. And then trying to close it out, you can see the heart rate just spikes up at the end.
Very different, actually,
Ice.
compared to his teammate.
Cool. Look at that. That's about he's done it all. He's down to 80. He's down to like 70.
Is he awake?
Did he fall asleep during the game?
That's like higher than my resting.
Yeah, that's very impressive. My guy works out.
A lot of it is actually, I don't know, think you can say underneath zone 1, but his resting heart rate there, you know,
it does get
low
about 70.
60s. That's pretty fit, isn't it? So, you know, he's someone who's got all this experience. We've spoken about that, and even being in game just isn't phased. He can keep himself composed and under control.
I mean, it kind of goes back to what we say about that experience. He'll be here loads of times. Game number 1. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
Yeah, he's kind of nodding at that as well. I wonder if he gets sweaty palms at all. Doesn't look like he does. He's taken that like a walk in the park. He's pretty pleased with his performance, and as he should be. A 1-0 victory over Thailand, who we thought would and still could be a ones to watch in this tournament. A couple of other results as well. I'm having a quick look because obviously there were other matches happening as well. Mexico, 3-1 victory over Morocco. Surprised with that result a little bit?
No.
No, Wes is saying that's what he expected.
I would have expected that from Mexico, and I think coming in, I think they very much fall into the dark horse category here. Mexico really want to keep your eye on.
Maybe the one we didn't potentially expect was Jordan against Indonesia. A 2-2 draw in the end.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at that. So Jordan were 2-0 up, and that is obviously a huge upset against our overwhelming favourite, not overwhelming favourites, but big favourites in Indonesia, the previous winners as well. But the other angle is that Indonesia did come back. They did keep fighting. They shook off an awkward start and got themselves a point, which, you know, would you take the positive or the negative from that? You got to take the positives, right?
I think you've got to take a positive because it's very rare that you see Indonesia in that position. You don't see them 2-0 down very early into a game, and they're kind of, you know, they probably found a little bit of themselves that they didn't realise they had in that tenacity and the kind of the character to bring it back.
Well, the matches are going to come thick and fast because we are pretty much moments away from our next one, which features these guys here, the Brazilian runners-up from just 12 months ago, Jay Victor and Henriquinho, taking on the Italian duo who we've already seen. They've got a win under their belt, Eterito and Naples. The Brazilians, they're out for redemption, I'm going to say, aren't they, Cole?
Yeah, I mean, you could see it earlier on, even in their warm-up. I mean, in any esport, Brazilian teams tend to be extremely passionate, extremely loud, extremely proud of representing Brazil, and these guys are no different. The fact that last year was second, I think, for the last 365 days, that would really have been stinging, and you can see that in the way that they present themselves around their seats.
especially Jay Victor. He's such a personality.
Yeah.
He always comes in with such a smile on his face. Everyone likes to watch him. I think he was very disappointed with becoming a runner-up last year.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I think you get that final and you don't win it. It's obviously going to be a massive disappointment. But one thing I kind of wanted to touch on quickly with Brazil is their draft is a little different to other teams. We've seen the majority, I would say 90% of teams, go with a real physical lineup. Brazil have went pure futsal. We're talking football on the beach kind of style. We've got Ronaldinho, you've got so many different players with their strong dribbling. They are a different outfit to what Italy would have just faced in Thailand. This is going to be a bit of a different test. I'm curious how it's going to work for Brazil. They've rolled the dice a little bit, but they've stayed true to Brazilian football, quite literally.
Whereas for Italy, coming up against the big guns first, is that what they would want to do? I mean, you've got Thailand and then you've got Brazil. These are the big names. They're having to really, kind of see out first before they're warmed up.
I think they'd relish in this environment. I think they live in pressure. They don't mind it whatsoever. They'll take all comers on. They're very confident in themselves. But as Chris rightly pointed out, Brazil's draft, you look at the likes of Mbappe, Ronaldinho, Neymar, they've got Haaland, they've got so many weapons that they can do damage with here that Italy, although they've just edged it 1-0 in the first game, they're going to have to be right on the mark here to get past this Brazil side.
They must have first pick with all those names.
Well, they were surprised. I spoke to Jay Victor a little bit yesterday, and even he was surprised at the players they were able to recruit.
Wow.
They were very surprised that Mbappe was on the board. They were very surprised that they could get the likes of Haaland, Ronaldinho, Neymar. The kind of almost.
Why do you think that was?
Because it's kind of stylistically, players leaning towards the physicality, as Chris said, is that historically within eFootball, physicality's been the big part of this. But for Jay Victor, for Henriquinho, their philosophy is, no, we're here to play our game. We like to dribble, we like to have the ball, we like to have skill moves, we like to cause mayhem and chaos, and that's what they like to do. So this should be fireworks.
Okay, well, fireworks indeed. Well, it's Team Italy taking on Brazil. They're sat next to each other as well. That's going to be pretty spicy. Before we get into this, shall we hear a little bit more from Team Italy?
My nickname is Hectorito97. Of course, it's a really amazing sensation. It's my first World Cup under FIFAe. It's a great experience and can't wait to compete. Represent Italy is an honor. In real football, we won 4 times the World Cup. Maybe as an esports team, we can put 1 star more. This is actually the only trophy that I don't have in my career. We know that it's really hard to win. Everyone is here for a reason, but I think Italy can lift the trophy.
Welcome to our second feature game here at FIFAe eFootball 2025. Italy versus Brazil. And Abdulaziz, as we were saying on the desk, a very different style of play now for Brazil.
Yeah, but first I'm happy to have you here.
Yes, it's lovely to be here. I've moved rooms. I've quick hopped about 20 meters, and now here I am, and already there's a chance for Brazil. And this is what I'm looking forward to seeing.
You are welcome, brother. So, we have a very tough game now. As we saw earlier in the first round, Italy won the first game, let's say in a very convincing way. Brazil started the day, let's say, in a very tough way because they faced Chile, who will really give them a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this level, no one is going to find it easy. And Brazil, even though they're sort of in that conversation for potential victors here, they are no different. Of course, as well as our feature game, there are plenty of other matches going along, and Mexico have taken the lead early doors against Poland.
Oh, yeah, that's very nice goal, you know, when you have a taller player like Jan Kuller, where he can win every air battle, you know, that will make things very easy for your players.
Well, Italy come into this one off the back of a nervy victory over Thailand, but still an impressive one. Any win against those guys is a good one, but this is a great chance to counter for Italy nearly there. Great defending from Brazil in the end.
Yes, this game is very, let's say, both of the players, have won multiple world champions. Italy, we have Il Torito, where he won many world championships. And of course, for Brazil, we have João, who also won the World Cup. So let's say the battle of the champions, as we say here. And also, it is not an easy game. This is really nice ball. Oh, what a goal.
Brazil living up to their name. You can see why this squad is so respected. Henriquinho in the team this year as well. Wasn't he last year, and Brazil finished second. Drafted in.
Oh, that's really nice. I mean, attacking from the mid and trying to find the gap. Even El Torito doesn't know what happened there, but that was really, really nice goal. Patient, chemistry, and the score, finding the gap between the defense.
Yeah,
and
lovely pass.
Very nice finish, yeah.
Fantastic touch. It was that touch right here that just takes them away from the Italian defense. And then who else but Ronaldinho?
Oh, what a goal.
Always playing with that smile on his face.
Probably Brazil now, let's say, found the moment, where they can at least shine and show their quality. As we can see here, is that Thailand taking the lead against Saudi, no? Oh, yes.
Yes. So Thailand scored their first goal of the competition after being eased to a loss in the last game. In our feature game, there is a substitution, so we'll jump temporarily to Jordan versus Japan. Jordan, who had such a good start against Indonesia. They pinned back, but lots of positives for them to take from going 2-0 up against Indonesia.
Exactly. I mean, they started the game very well. They scored the first, they scored the second goal. But, Indonesia, still Indonesia. They are the world champions. And of course, they came back from a defeat against Georgia like that. It shows a very good mentality and top players.
I think those are the sort of stories that develop while we're here. You can have all this experience and all these accolades, but once you are in this room representing your country, you don't know how you're going to deal with setbacks. You don't know how you're going to deal with the extra pressure. Indonesia, once again, proving they can deal with that. But Jordan have shown us that, that they're not just here to make up the numbers.
Exactly. And also facing Japan, I mean, one of the very best teams in the tournament. It shows, believe me, if they get something from this game, probably we'll see them in the knockout.
Well, here we have Indonesia versus Morocco. Indonesia, while they'll be pleased enough to have stolen the point from the last game, will not want to go too behind once more. That'll really start to lead to some question marks. Of course, we're not doing the rotation system this time around, so the two players that you see will be the two players that are playing, barring any technical issues or anything like that. So you really have to stand tall, and that is what Italy are trying to do here. They have some control in the Brazilian box, back in our feature game. Back, a passing opportunity is nearly into the mix. It was well defended in the end, but an Italian corner, and they can be strong from these.
Of course, the pieces, I mean, they can definitely get something out of it, but they will need to play it and time it to the right player, so can either head it directly to the goal or maybe pass it.
Ball comes into the centre. It's a short one, perhaps too short, not the best corner in the world, but the ball is put back straight into the centre. Brazil clear eventually. And I'm just looking at Etorito's heart rate. We saw in the last, in the desk, that it was really low. But this is about as high as it's been.
Oh, yes, but this one is like 163. Yes. It's probably like the highest we have in the tournament so far.
Oh, nearly a chance. The second one is surely going to go in. It's off the post. Italy made some changes, and they've earned their equaliser.
What a goal. Italy worked so hard for this goal, tried many ways, and they got what they deserve. 1-1, game on.
That was the turn again. The defender completely left going the wrong way. Buffon did what he could against Italy. It feels odd to say that, but he has to play the game. Did what he could to turn that back, but the save maybe could be said was too central.
Honestly, I think that was a little bit harsh. But anyway, Italy deserved the goal. Brazil, they need to work out again. They will need to find depth. What did I miss here?
That was an absolute stunner there from Poland.
Oh, wow. We can have the replay, of course.
Well, back to this one. And Brazil, after that glorious first goal, eventually do get undone by the set piece. It was from the corner They're never quite able to clear their lines. And eventually Italy, after putting the ball back into the box, were able to make it count. So that choice that Brazil have made to go for more flair players, to maybe be a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter and faster. We've seen both sides of it so far in this match.
Yes, but here we have a very dangerous attack. Brazil, are they going? No need for that skill move right there.
I agree, that was one too many. You had a shooting chance, just take it, especially with another player coming up the left side. A rebound from the goalkeeper led to all sorts of trouble there for Italy.
As we can see here, Indonesia probably scoring the first goal against Morocco. We probably may see the first win for Indonesia in this tournament.
Yeah, looking good for Indonesia. And as it goes on, as they're trying to break into the playoffs and beyond, that point may well be valuable. Anyway, here's Brazil, a good knockdown. Oh, this is going all the way in, it surely is.
How lucky.
We talk about their flair, but that was your classic eFootball goal. Big ball into the middle, knocked down, and there's your finish.
Oh yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of luck over there, but they worked hard for that goal. They tried to build up very well. They found the gap between the defense, and they break down.
They're still looking very relaxed. You know, we've heard some huge cheering around the room, but I'd say in this round of matches, everyone's seeming to lock in a little bit more rather than show the passion.
I think because it is too early to celebrate, but yeah, we will definitely see more passion by the time the tournament goes on, you know. But yeah, what a goal! I mean, huge luck, but this is part of the game.
Of course, and you have to take those opportunities when they do come, and it was great bravery as well to be diving in there where it hurts. What sort of player were you back in your day? Were you loud, or were you a bit more quiet and introspective?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
If I am in the semi-final of a World Cup and it's like one goal away from reaching the final, I'll definitely shout out. But it depends on the situation again. How about you?
I like being loud. I like being loud and proud.
Oh my
nearly
God!
Can be here. It's off the post again, and the touch was poor afterwards.
So unlucky, man.
Yeah, we've had a post hit there. It's a dramatic match. Our feature match was well chosen.
Exactly. I mean, you see some lucky goals there, and then you see unlucky situation where normally it would go in, to be honest.
Indonesia, is this going to be 2-0? Yes, it is.
Really nice.
Against Morocco, looking more like themselves now.
Oh yeah, I think Indonesia found like the moment where they can settle down, play the way they usually play, find the gaps between the defense, and score goals, you know. To come back in the first game against Jordan from 2-0, and now to bring it to the second round and to win 2-0. Honestly, I think Indonesia is like playing the way they want to play.
For sure. And Jordan as well proving in this game against Japan that it was no luck that they got those 2 goals earlier on against Indonesia. Really giving Japan, one of our favourites, a tough game, but Japan are working their way forwards into the Jordan box. Are you impressed with Jordan so far, what you've seen?
Of course. I mean, Jordan are playing really, really well. I mean, getting, let's say, a point from the reigning champions, and now probably they are really, really close to at least get another point. Yeah, it's risky, but no, I think they know what they have to do over there.
Oh yeah, I mean, risky but composed as well. I mean, these guys obviously know the game a lot better than I do, and they were comfortable that one was going straight back to the goalkeeper, but the ball is beginning to come straight back at them. Maybe their players are tiring.
Oh, if you can see the heartbeat over there, the Japanese players like double the number of the heartbeat for the Jordanian players, you know?
Very true. I mean, Japan will be well aware that last year they were favourites in that. Of course, it was authentic team as well, where the Japanese team is not overpowered, but certainly, from what I heard, the best one there on the pitch, and they didn't even make it out the group stages.
Wow.
So they hugely have to make up for it this year.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's why they are, I mean, giving every game, let's say, full focus, full concentration.
Yeah, you can't let any points be left on the table when everything is going to be as close as this is. We have another goal here, and it's Poland. They scored the absolute screamer earlier. That one, not so much. That's the sort of goal my flatmates used to tell me off for scoring. Pass across and then put it away.
Oh, that's very simple, very basic, but believe me, it's not easy to do.
No,
especially in this stage.
Yes, in duos as well. Well, Jordan versus Japan. Japan searching for this breakthrough and surging forwards. Have the ball currently on the left wing. Try and play it into the centre. The Jordan defence.
Yeah, I think
very solid.
Yeah, every time we see Japan against Jordan, I think we see them. I mean, Japan always, let's say, trying to find the gaps. But on the other side, we didn't see much from Jordan, maybe only defending, which is, of course, one of their strengths. I'm here, someone is clapping.
Yeah, I'm curious where. I need to keep looking at what I'm looking at, but someone has just applauded. People are happy. Let's see if Thailand can get their next one against Saudi Arabia. Could be an upset here if Saudi Arabia are able to get a point.
Yes,
right?
Saudi got a point in the first round. Now, against Thailand, I mean, believe me, on paper, I think Thailand the favorite to this game. But to get a point from them, I mean, this is also something really, really good.
For Thailand as well. I mean, you lose your first game against Italy, 1-0, fair enough. But then you're going into a game against Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And you're really expecting to get yourself on the board and start going. Thailand need to get motoring.
Exactly, you are completely right over there.
Ball played forward. Thailand need to make sure they keep their composure and stay patient. There's still 30 in-game minutes left, so no need to rush just now. As we head back to our feature game where Italy have fallen behind against Brazil for the second time in the game. Brazil who just keep on coming against them. Indonesia against Morocco. Do Morocco get something?
Is that Morocco? Yes. Yes, Morocco scored that goal. It is 2-1. Yeah, everything is still on the paper.
Good games, really good games this round. Lots of goals flying in, entertaining matchups.
What a goal. What a goal from
Abdulaziz has just seen something. What have you?
Oh, yes.
Go on, tell the people what you've seen.
Indonesia scored a beautiful goal, and now they are leading 3-1 against Morocco.
Oh, well, there you go. So, Morocco not quite back into it just yet. Still 2 goals to come through. But anyway, here's Brazil, showing the flair, showing the skills, probing around the Italian box, searching for that 3rd goal. Italy clear long.
Yeah. You know, Italy have 3 points already. Even losing against Brazil, it's completely fine. Because Brazil here, they need the win more than Italy. As we see, this is the goal, beautiful goal. I mean, they worked so hard on this goal. They went through the wing, across to Roberto Carlos, and then a finish in a very stylish way.
Brazil have 25 in-game minutes left to hold on or even increase their lead for a big 3 points against Italy. They have the ball currently on the left wing, but it is tackled, and this is where Italy look dangerous, tackling Brazil when they try these skills and then counter-attacking, but they have to time the pass right. They have to get rid of the ball as well. That, again, looked pretty nervy for a second.
Yeah, because if you made a mistake over there, it's over, you know? Nice. Very nice skill move from Ronaldinho to Schneider. Romario is that? Oh! He moved the keeper wrongly also, but what a save. Fair enough.
Yeah, he read the shot coming in. I think the shot could have gone onto the other side of the goal, but yeah, you have to say fair enough there. If the keeper has a chance like that against him and he gets anything on it, especially a strong fist that he got.
Oh, nice.
Well done, but that is a big dive in there. Italy are through the lines. Into the centre circle. It's a weak next pass, though. Italy's passing just does not look quite up to their usual high standards at the moment.
Yes, I mean, you cannot miss those passes, especially in the mid. Is that Chile leading 2-0?
Yes. Yes, so 2-0 there to Chile.
Oh,
Certainly
yeah.
feeling a little bit better. 14 in game left on the left wing. Italy looking for that pass. They've already come back once. Can they do it again? This is the opportunity they were looking for. Big ball onto the top, headed in. But once again, beaten away by the Brazilians. It's better play, though. They're winning these first balls. They've got the second. A shooting chance, maybe. Does he shoot or pass? A skill against the Brazilians. There's the shot, but it's not wide.
Very nice. I mean, he's very brave, you know. He took his time. He dribbled the player. And he waited for the shot, you know, and for the angle to show up, I would say. But yeah, that was really nice.
And that was Etorito as well, using the experience to keep hold of the ball.
Exactly. He's a world champion, you know.
Done it all. You can always tell in these sorts of events when someone has been there, done that. They just seem to have more time on the pitch, but his team is losing. Chile are having a much better time with it, almost through again against Turkey. Turkey still have time to come back, but need to get moving if they are going to. And a good match again between Mexico and Poland. Goals flying in everywhere. 3 goals in this one, and this is going to be the 4th.
Oh, beautiful, man. Oh, another goal here. Okay, 2-1. Turkey can do something here. It is still plenty of time left.
Looking relaxed as well. Looking like they're ready for these last few minutes to really assault their Chilean opponent. There's a big block there in the centre. Good read. One-touch passing. Ball over the top. That is a lovely run as well. And then taking the time to take the touch on the chest instead of headering, is that a scary thing to do when you've got that much pressure on you?
Oh, to be honest, I mean, that shows the composure that these kind of players have. And also he put it, let's say, in the far post. Very, very nice goal. And 2-1, you know, still plenty of time left.
Italy get the free kick, and this is a real opportunity. Load that box up and get the ball into the centre. What are you thinking? Do you back Italy? Do you like the way they're playing this?
Believe me, it is so hard to come back, but there is still a chance for Italy to at least score 1 more goal. For me, I think Brazil will win this game. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Let's see. Italy's ball is like it's a good one. It has found a man. Ball into the middle. He had a player above him on his left side. Opts to go into the centre instead, and now we have the Brazil counter-attack, which doesn't quite come to anything. But for Brazil, just getting the ball down the other end is enough for now. They have to stop this happening. Italy surging forward once more. There's a ball on the right. But Brazil, it's got to be said, they're reading this Italian pass as well.
Yeah, of course. And also they are defending really well, both of the players. Joao and his partner, you know, they are defending really well, and they read every single attack from Italy. And yeah, that's why Italy could not find the gaps as they did in the first game.
I'm pleasantly surprised from what I'm seeing from Brazil when they do have a lead as well. I was worried they would be bullyable by these opponents due to the fact that they've chosen a different type of player, but they're able to keep the ball quite well, and their defenders are getting blocks in.
I think there is one more chance left for Italy here.
I'd agree. It certainly has that feel of it, doesn't it? Let's quickly head over to Thailand versus Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
Saudi Arabia could be through nearly. That was the opportunity. Will there be a touchdown here for Thailand? There is. It's blocked by the Saudi defence. And that'll be that. Very good point for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
I think so, yes. I mean, not losing against such a tough team like Thailand, they can keep their hopes up and maybe come back even stronger in the third round.
Well, Indonesia have done enough against Morocco. 3-1, that one, I don't know if it's quite over, but I think it's going to be a win there for Indonesia.
Yes.
Mexico, Poland. 4 goals in this one. Time for a winner as well. What a match this could be if we do manage to see
5 goals, imagine.
4 minutes extra time as well.
Yes, there could be 2 or 3 chances left.
Lots of midfield play at the moment, just seeing if we can find that incisive pass.
Nice.
And that could be it. It has found a man. Goes back onto the edge of the box. Ball into the left side. Lovely touch. Flick up.
If that goes in.
Yeah. Poland not rushing. Using every second that they have, but it looks like it's going to be Mexico who have the last say in this game if they can get the ball to a teammate, which they can't.
Yes.
And these two are going to have to settle for a point each.
Yes.
We do have still the feature game is going. It looks like everything's all done, but no, these guys are paused. They're making changes. How important are these changes, the substitutions? Can they really change the flow of a match?
Yes, you need to use fresh legs at this moment, where also you already know what your opponent can cover and what your opponent can defend. So you try to come up with something different, let's say. And of course, with the fresh legs players, they can definitely do something with that. And that's why we see the players are always changing at this moment. As we can see on the screen here, we have El Torito and Naples, 2 amazing players. They did first win the first game. Now they are facing tough team. And the result so far, we see that Indonesia beat Morocco 3-1, Mexico 2-2 against Poland, and Jordan 0-0 against Japan.
That's a great result for Jordan as well. A very good result there. There is another game ongoing as well. Turkey and Chile is still playing on, so it's currently 2-1 to Chile. But they will be looking to hold what they have for the last minute or so, which we can jump into now.
Long pass for sure here.
You want to see the long ball?
I believe so.
Okay. You predict correctly. Let's see if Turkey can do anything from there. They do get the ball back. It has to be now. First time ball in, looking for the flick on. Not quite there. Well defended by Chile. And that will be enough. Chile take the win against Turkey. 2-1. Big 3 points on the board.
Oh, yes. I mean, Chile played really, really well in the first game against Brazil. Now, they proved that also against Turkey, where they won the match. I think they are in a very good position so far.
I think anytime you get a win early doors in the group stage, you're feeling good about yourself, just to make sure you know that you can win. You know, you're not going to go 0-7 or whatever it ends up being. Because it can happen, you know. We had it happen to Costa Rica last year, where I think they got 1 point, which you don't want to be that team.
Yeah, I mean, in group stage, if you cannot win, do not lose. A draw is a good result, you know, because sometimes it will take you far, you know. But losing a game, it will definitely, I mean, take all of your chances.
Well, Wacon and Fixito for Chile, understandably, soak up the moment. They've won it. They can have some fun with the camera, and it also helps as well. You just feel more natural in this place, you know. Once if you're losing, suddenly the bright lights making you sweat, you're feeling uncomfortable. You get that win, you're like, oh, this is fun. I like playing in front of everybody.
Yes. What do you think about that?
I like a relaxed player. I like it when a player in a LAN environment like this scores a great goal and then just goes and looks quite calm. But you also need the chance to, you know, be standing up and being loud. And only 1 more minute, we could get some real volume if Italy get the equaliser here, which they do not. And in our feature game, it's Brazil that take it. Last year's second place finishers. Henriquinho's been brought in, and he is looking like João Victor now has the partner that he needs for potentially Brazil to go all the way.
Oh, yes. Congratulations to Brazil. Totally deserved win. And there are still plenty of games we will see together.
Yes, plenty of eFootball to enjoy today in console. And then, if you want more eFootball, of course you do, enjoy the mobile as well. As a spoiler, I commentated the mobile for the first time last year. I love the mobile version. It's just so different to how the players hold their phones compared to their controller. Completely different experience. But right now, let's stick right here. Veracity's on the stage with our winners, Brazil.
Congratulations, Jay Victor. I have to ask you, though, you went from performing against Chile, that was a draw, 0-0, but now walking away with a victory, 2-1. What did you change in your approach?
I think it was what game, because Italy is a great team. You know, they play really good, but you take the 3 points. This match are so important to refresh the confidence, because, you know, the first game in the tournament is so hard. You need feel in the tournament, so it's so important.
How are you going to keep up that confidence up against Thailand next?
I think Thailand have a good style, dangerous style. They use just aerial ball. You are prepared, you know how you play. And yeah, just take the best style, play football bonito, and joga bonito. Let's go, Brazil.
Let's go, Brazil. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Veracity, and it's great to hear from Jay Victor as well. They've got a tough matchup next when they play Thailand, but a draw and a win now for Team Brazil, off to a good start.
Yeah, I think teams seem to be easing into this on our very first day. Brazil eased into that game. I mean, it's a fantastic start. We kind of seen what we were talking about in that sense of it's less physicality, more about jogo bonito, as João Victor calls it. We've seen a brilliant first goal, but to be honest, after that, it was quite scrappy. I mean, the Italian goal was like kind of bundled over the line, and for the second goal for Brazil, similar kind of story, just beating the keeper there. That's a tough one for the Italians to take, but again, like these first two matchups, you want to read into them, but it's also group stages against teams who very well will likely go up against each other in the knockouts as well. These are all teams who potentially could be finishing in the top 4. They won't necessarily want to give the entire game away just yet.
Yeah, as you can see, pretty cagey affairs, whereas across the board, not really separating anyone apart from maybe Indonesia, Morocco there with a 2-goal swing.
Yeah, and it always is the way in these types of co-op environments, is that it's the odd goal here or there. You very rarely see another team kind of roll in and kind of really bowl over another team. But the interesting one that really sticks out there for Turkey getting overturned by Chile, 2-1, that's a massive result for them.
And maybe Jordan holding Japan to a 0-0 there as well.
I mean, that's Jordan getting draws up against, Indonesia and Japan. That's a massive pair of results, to be honest with you. So for them to get those draws, yes, okay, they absolutely need wins, but those are draws in games you would have expected them to lose.
I was going to say, I'd like to see actually Jordan play on a featured matchup and see how they are actually playing there, because it possibly looks like they're just defending with all their will, Wes.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of, it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't start to really get your attacking moves going, it's a real problem, and then you get that kind of, are we going to score in game 3, game 4? When is it going to start to really kind of, you know, are we going to start to really progress aggressively in attacking downfield? It's a difficult one for them.
How do you change that? Because possibly they could have actually fielded a team based on defensive players in their draft. So if they have done that, how do they change that going forward?
I think essentially, if you have a defensive setup, you're going to have to look at counter-attacks. You're going to have to look at trying to, you know, kind of exploit wing play and really try and bring whatever attacking threats you have to the fore. And, you know, if it's a case of bringing your wingers closer in to get towards your forwards, you've got a bit more of combination play. That might be what they need to really unlock their attacking lineup.
Well, they need to start attacking. Do Jordan, as we've seen there, 2 0-0 draws have been good draws over really strong teams, but you need to start winning if you to get those vital points to progress through to the quarterfinals on day 3 here of the competition. Well, we said we were bringing you something new, and that was the heart rates from individual players. We've got heart rate monitors on them so we can track them throughout the games. And Chris is going to give us a deep dive into this Brazilian side now.
I don't know why they've trusted me with this.
He's got an iPad and everything. He's very official.
Yeah, no, love for sure, Victor. I think, you know, you're seeing a bit of a mix-up with him, though, aren't you, really, Wes? There's not necessarily any pattern to it. You can see when the goals are coming through. Nice high start for Brazil, chilled it out. Okay, yeah, you see Italy come up and score, but then straight away Brazil were able to answer back. But after that, it's an absolute roller coaster.
It is, and you probably could marry that up with the chances and opportunities that fell by the wayside. I mean, Italy hit the post at that point, which obviously isn't on the heart rate monitor, but I dare say it would have paid into the part. And of course, Henriquinho, you can see a little bit more agitated, a little bit more animated, and he does play with that fire. And sometimes you do need it within esports and with eFootball, that you have that passion that kind of really kind of fires into you and you're able to kind of bring it out on the console, and he really does play on that limit.
This is why they shouldn't have trusted me with this. Yeah, you know, I've seen her broken it. Anyway.
We've moved across now.
Yeah, we've moved across.
It's fine. You talk about agitated. Some players could be agitated wearing the heart rate monitor as well, depending on where it's placed. I'm not sure if it's across the chest, the chest strap, or if it's on their wrist or something. And if they're not used to it, that could be uncomfortable, Wes.
That's it. I mean, you talk about intangibles, you talk about the fact that you're in Saudi Arabia, time differences from where you are at home. You're not playing on a couch. You haven't got the luxury of being in your bedroom or your living room. You are in front of the world, you're in front of the lights, you're in front of all the cameras, you've got all of those additional pressures. Like you said, if you've got a heart rate monitor strapped to you, I'd be going, wait a minute, am I unfit? Am I okay? Am I alive? Am I right? And it's just how quickly can you get comfortable with those environments and with those changes.
Italy now, Chris, chance to bounce back in the next matchup. They have Turkey, who we've actually seen have been quite a force to be reckoned with at the moment.
Well, I think it's really shown that there's no easy games here, right? I mean, we kind of came into this and we were expecting from Jordan, like, okay, we really didn't know, and then they went on and got 2 big results. So every single game is seemingly going to be difficult for these teams. So there is getting to the stage now for some teams, okay, you got yourself a win, but you need to make sure you keep getting those wins. No easy games here.
No easy games. The next one's not easy either. Our featured matchup is Indonesia, the defending champions. Wes is going like this, taking on Japan as well, the home of eFootball, in the form of Konami. This is a massive matchup. 2 massive nations fighting it out together here, and we've got the defending champions.
Yeah, it's a Southeast Asian derby, but it's the one that really gets everybody going. You know, the fandom of Indonesia, the fandom of Japan. You know, it will be an absolute fight in the chat. It will be everything that needs to be. And of course, then you look at the two teams. It's a rerun of the Asian Cup final where Indonesia overturned Japan. There's a lot of history between these two nations, but this one again, it's just boiling on the surface.
We say there's pressure on defending champions, but how much pressure is on the likes of the nation of Japan, because they are the home of eFootball? Do people then watch them and expect much more?
I would say so. There is definitely an expectation level there for Japan, and but I think they probably invite that pressure on themselves, and then how do they deal with that pressure is up to them. I think they'll be looking for some improvement this year, to be honest with you. We'll like to see them go a little bit further, but we haven't necessarily seen the best of them in the group stages so far just yet. So let's see how they go in this one, but it's a hard test, as we know.
Japan, like you just said, they do invite the pressure. They came here and put a statement out and said, we're aiming to win. If that's not a statement inviting pressure, I don't know what is, Wes.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're not in it to win it, what are you competing for? I mean, again, I saw a brief chat that they had in their press conference they had where they were saying, we can't lose to Indonesia, we can't lose to Brazil. And this is that game. So now you've really put it out into the ether now, boys. You've now got to go and perform.
I mean, candidly, they can, especially in the group stage. I think if you're going to get any losses out of the way, do it in the group stages rather than in the moments where you could potentially get knocked out.
And they had the toughest qualifiers as well, I'm going to say, didn't they? The fact that they actually had to go up against the likes of Indonesia and Thailand, and the fact they came out on top, Wes, Japan did.
And also the fact that nations that qualified last time, Malaysia, not here as a result of their qualification. They, as you said, that is a real hotbed in the Asia regions of just very talented eFootball players, and as a result, you're seeing 4 of the very best on console that you're gonna see this tournament.
It's not just eFootball in the Asian regions. I mean, they absolutely love esports, don't they? They are kind of nations and countries that put a lot into esports. The governments see them as actual sporting competitions. So, and therefore they obviously encourage more players, and obviously the mobile and connectivity is great as well over in those countries. I'm just looking at Group B because this is the group that we're looking at now with the likes of Indonesia and Japan in, and they're both actually sitting on 4 points apiece alongside Mexico. I know a long way to go, but after 2 matches, they've both got a win and a draw.
Yeah, again, it's that. I don't want to say it's like the lazy start to the group stage, but it's always...
You just did.
But you know what I mean. I'm trying to look for the words that are a little bit better. It's always just that easing into the tournament, right? You don't want to necessarily go in all guns blazing. You want to make sure you just get steady away into the tournament. And I think if you told them 4 points after 2 games, both those 2 teams would have been like, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Well, the interesting wrinkle for these teams, you have to remember as well, is that the fixtures are split over 2 days. So if you don't perform on day 1, you are really leaving you very late, and you're proper up against it on day 2. So every point they gain, regardless if it's a point or 3, is going to be worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, I feel like for Indonesia, maybe the comeback was on, wasn't it, against Jordan? They were just warming up 2-2 in match 1, and then kind of really dominated over Morocco in match 2, 3-1 there. So if we're looking at form, they may be kind of playing themselves into it going forward here, opposed to Japan. They got a 0-0 just a few moments ago against Jordan, and then earlier on this morning we saw them with a 1-0 victory over a strong Polish side, Wes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that if you took it on just goals scored, you'd go, Indonesia have found their feet.
Yeah.
This is a big problem. But again, the Blue Samurai, they know how to win games of football, as do all of the teams that are here. It is almost a football analogy, but it's true to all of them. They know how to win games of eFootball, and between these 4, it's going to be an incredible watch.
Well, we've asked the casters and our pundits for predictions once again. Indonesia taking on Japan. Should we see what they said?
I can't remember what I said.
Oh, well, it's up there for all to see now.
Well, we've actually gone together. We both picked out Japan.
Wes and Chris have gone Japan. There you go.
Yeah, and Abdulaziz has gone with Indonesia.
There you go.
Oh, he's just throwing his results in here
He's
as well.
join us. I think Mr. Dunn is going to come and join us in a few moments' time as well, but you've gone Japan.
Yeah, look, I think just based on their qualification process, they come through and they beat some really strong competition, beating Thailand in the final. I mean, Thailand obviously have a current world champion. I'm going by proxy here, but at the same time, look, it's been a very mixed start for both these two teams. I did predict this at the top of the show. We've seen Indonesia start to turn it on. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm not going to. I was just wanted to point out actually when we did have the prediction. We had our chat with the casters. Harry's sitting on the fence as per usual. I'm going to continue to be on one side of the fence here, though. I'm going to stay with Japan.
Where's where are you back in Japan?
I think that it's their time to get their own back on Indonesia, whether it's in the group stage or whether it's in the knockouts. I feel like this is their time to just get their own back.
And this is the pairing who know each other pretty well as well, the Japanese pairing, right?
Yeah, Axe and Tess, they are a formidable duo, and they're able to kind of really put those skills to the fore. I mean, you know, Tess has got his own skill moves, you know, inputs that are named after him in the game. The Tess Super Cancel, which I'm sure the community at home know all about. It shows you the level that they can really put together, and if they can do it here in the group stage, they can really set themselves up.
Do you want to see anything different from both of these sides now they're going up against each other than what we haven't seen in the two matches that we've already played?
I maybe see a little less caginess from Japan. It feels as if they're not quite not quite pulling the trigger yet. Let's see if they can start to get into it. There's some times you would say that some teams maybe ease into it a little too much. You want to try and get some results underneath your belt. Let's see what you're actually made of, Japan, because we know they're a great team. We know what they can do. Let's see it now.
Okay, well, that is Team Japan. This is Team India featuring Binon Boys and Elga. Let's get a deep dive into these two.
I feel so happy to be here because, you know, when you play to represent your country, I think everyone is dreaming of it. This is a good opportunity for us. Last year, we've already won the FIFAe World Finals. You know, every opponent will put their eyes on us. I think it's getting more difficult to win this. If we can win this in 2 consecutive years, it will be a very proud moment for us. It's like a common thing for us if the opponent doesn't want us to win, but you know, in the end, Indonesia always come up as the winner. I don't really care about it.
We bring to you a matchup between two firm favourites that haven't had it all their own way so far. Alia, hello. I'm on the cast with you for the first time. Looking forward to this one. And yeah, 4 points each for these two.
I know. The only difference between these two teams at the moment is Indonesia are up by 1 on goal difference. But as we've said, this is probably, in my opinion, the biggest game of the day so far. You have Indonesia as the 2024 champions. You might just nearly taking that lead. And you've got Japan, who won the qualifiers for Asia East and Oceania.
Yeah, huge teams. And you can see why Indonesia were such big favourites. Lovely interlinking play right at the start of the game. They start hot to Indonesia, but they didn't in their first game. 2-0 down to Jordan, made it 2-2 before a 3-1 victory against Morocco.
I think it was a disappointing start for Indonesia, especially coming in as the champions, as we've mentioned. But both sides, they've drawn one, they've won one, and whoever wins this game tops the group. And for two nations that are arguably the strongest in Group B, this is a very, very important game where 3 points are definitely needed.
Yeah, huge chance to make a statement for these guys. But so far in the first 8 minutes or so, it has been all Indonesia. Elsewhere, we've got a goal early doors for Brazil, who take the lead against Thailand, who are really struggling with it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm quite disappointed with how Brazil have been playing so far today, but nearly here.
Well, that was smart. He meant that, obviously, to get the goal kick. That's fantastic defending in the end.
I think what I love seeing as well is that we get to see the players' heart rates throughout all of the games. I think it's really interesting. I noticed earlier when Jordan were playing, the heart rates were barely going over 100. Whereas you look at Indonesia here, both in the 120s. Japan, you've got in the 130s and the 150s. But, I mean, so far, this is quite an end-to-end game, I feel.
It is, yeah. Japan coming into it a little bit more. As you can see, as their heart rates rise, they get more and more into it. Lovely play there. Fake to get the ball out to the right wing. Real chance here. Beautiful back heel. Sunny shot nearly. Oh, off the post. What a goal that would have been.
Oh my goodness gracious me. I mean, I think we do need to see Japan be more aggressive with the way they're playing. But are we going to see a goal here by Jordan? 1-0. And, you know, Jordan really impressed me so far this tournament.
Yeah, completely. I agree. 2 draws and now 1-0 up in the 3rd game. Really making a statement in this group. Currently in 4th of the 6. Although they'll be above that now, they've got this win if they can keep it.
They do, and they're a new nation this year. It's the first season for both players as part of the national team, and I think they're doing a really good job. Oh, just like that, another goal in a different game. Just so all of you are aware at home, we do have 6 games going on at the moment. 3 in Group A, 3 in Group B.
For now, let's have a look at Brazil, who double their lead against Thailand. So, building on that momentum that they had against Italy. The ball put into the Japanese box through Indonesia. Nearly getting that knocked down as well. Might have been a little bit of a foul, a bit of a nibble on the defender from the striker, but that's another lovely back heel. The Japanese players, you can see that they play together. It's completely in sync. These back heels looking deadly from them.
I think 2v2 is probably one of the harder game modes as well to compete in, because you have to be really in sync with your partner, and I think that's where Japan do have the advantages, because they are really good friends outside of the game as well.
You can definitely see the synergy as another ball is put through. They will be won there by the Japanese striker. That flick through falls back into the center as well. So Japan rode the wave at the start. Indonesia started off huge, and then Japan have built upon that. Morocco versus Poland.
Just here, 1-0 up for Poland, which I feel like is something that they do need, because they haven't had the best start so far. They lost their first game, drew the second. If they can win this 3rd game, it'll be a really important 3 points for them.
Oh, what a ball that is! And then there's the finish, Johnny, no! Oh, Indonesia! How didn't you put that away?
I don't know how this deadlock hasn't been broken yet.
Yeah, it's true. It's not been a bad 0-0.
I mean, I don't know about you, Cole, but I'm sweating watching this game. It's so end-to-end here.
It is also very hot in here. There are bright lights beating down upon us, but thankfully we've got esports to keep us distracted, and a little bit of eFootball as well. And what a matchup this has been so far from Indonesia versus Japan. Living up to the billing for you up to this point?
I think so. I think for me, as I mentioned, this was the biggest game so far that we've had. And I don't know, I feel like Indonesia, they're the champions, you want them to win, but Japan didn't make it out of the group stage last year. To go on to then win the qualifiers and now perform that they are so far, potentially breaking the deadlock here. Just like that, Indonesia 1-0 up. Did you expect Indonesia to break the deadlock first? Because for a while it looked like it was all Japan.
Yeah, so Indonesia started the game better. Japan definitely in the last 15 minutes or so have been the better team, but this pass right here changes that in an instant. You can see they get the ball in the center. There are runners in every direction. The question is, can the assister pick the pass? And look at this, through 2 defenders, onto the number 26. And slotted home. The goalkeeper could do absolutely nothing. Indonesia have now scored, what, 5 goals in a row, I think? No, they did concede in the last game. So their goal difference is looking healthier and healthier, though. And the win will be massive.
And that's just beautiful football right there. And again, it's the heart rates. But Brazil, 2-0, sorry. I mean...
What's going on with Thailand? I heard good things about Thailand, but I'm not really seeing it so far.
I'm quite upset about Thailand. I mean, they've lost both of their games so far today. I mean, I've been to Thailand. I love the Thailand people as well, and I feel like a little bit disappointed.
Me too. But there is still time, just in these group stages. Plenty of eFootball to play. But you do very quickly run out of time, especially if you keep on losing. You get more frustrated, and each subsequent win gets even harder. Lovely through ball there from Chile to go up against Saudi Arabia, who just got a big point in their last game. Oh, that one almost made it all the way through. Dangerous for Japan, but they survive. For Indonesia, sorry, but they survive.
And again, Chile is another new nation that we have this year. Didn't compete in 2024. Both players only joined the national team this year. And what a showing it's been from Chile so far today.
Yeah, looking good. We're seeing these tables start to take shape as we go forwards now. And Indonesia, this would put them on 7 points after 3 games. Completely shaking off the early disappointment against Jordan. Jordan, who are looking stronger as things go on as well. You know, we're seeing that maybe that point wasn't as bad as it looked at the time. Going to be an extra 30 seconds now at the end of this one. Let's see if Japan can get something going. I think that was offside. The linesman waved his... Oh, maybe he was saying it was going to be an advantage. I don't know. He waved his flag for some reason. Either way, 1-0 half-time. Well played, Indonesia.
That was a really, really good first half. I think that game can still go either way because both teams are so strong. The possession is relatively equally divided as well. So I think it can go either way.
Well, while they'll make their half-time changes and have their half-time oranges, we'll head over to Morocco versus Poland. The corner comes in for the Poles. Currently 1-0 to the good. It could be 2 here, but he turned the wrong way. It's so easy to see from this angle when you're not playing it. You think, turn that way, but when you're in the moment, much tougher.
Definitely much tougher. And again, Morocco, they do need this win, but I mean, it's just goals on goals on goals in every single game at the moment.
Oh, lovely attempt at the through ball there for the Moroccan striker, but Poland looking to counter. Need to win this header and aren't quite able to do it. So from what we've seen in this game, Morocco just about on top at the moment. They're shading it. Can they pick the right pass at the right moment? They have the ball on the left wing. I'm liking this patience for Morocco despite being a goal down.
I think especially in eFootball, one of the most important things is patience. You can't rush your plays. You've got to take your time and attack at the right moment. And even though Morocco are 1-0 down, they're still keeping their cool really, really well.
Yeah, long games as well. Is it 10-minute halves that we're playing in? So plenty of in-game time to make something happen. And that scared me. I've seen that before, these risky back passes to the goalkeeper from their heads. They seem confident, but like, as a fan of football, I see that. And I've seen Ipswich concede that exact goal about 50 times in my life.
I think if I tried it, I'd probably just score an own goal. But are we going to see a goal here? Poland 2-0 against Morocco. This is going to be a big win for them if they do manage to hold on. They've lost one, they've drawn one. Could this be their first win of the day?
And that is why you play the ball back to your goalkeeper, give yourself complete possession, and from there, the brothers knew exactly what to do. Winning that second ball, and then again, that was the touch. It seems to be in eFootball, it's that decision of pass, shoot, or just a little easy dribble past the defender seems to be a completely vicious way of attacking.
Well, we're back here to Thailand and Brazil. Brazil are 3-0 up just as we're about to go into halftime. It looks like they're about to make it 4, narrowly misses. But, I mean, at least Brazil, I feel like they're finally starting to show up now.
Yeah, but Thailand are just dropping like a stone. Jinsui, the reigning world champion. Here to utter fanfare. Anyway, we'll talk about that later because there's a chance here for Japan. They've won themselves a corner. Still plenty of time left in this, our feature game. A massive, massive matchup at the top of the table. That's not a bad shot at all.
No, it's not. And even the Japan players that we have, Tess won the eFootball Championship for Barcelona and Ax did it for Arsenal. So it's 2 very, very strong players that play well individually, but I feel play even better together.
And let's see if they can prove that here from this corner. Taking their time with it, choosing the tactics to go forwards. They really are taking their time, not rushing anything right now. I don't mind that bit of gamesmanship against Indonesia. And it nearly fell through as well, but this is the chance for Indonesia to counter. It's a bit safe in the end. I think Indonesia could have done a bit more than that. That seemed a bit of a safe option. You have the ball there on the front of your own box. There were passes he could have picked.
Yeah, I feel like both teams have started to play a little bit more defensive, but Indonesia getting the ball back here. Are they on the attack? Can they make it 2-0 against Japan?
They'll certainly try. Not a team known for sitting back and holding on to a 1-0 lead. We saw their 3-1 victory. They were paid back by, I think it was Morocco in their last game, and instantly went down the other end and scored as well. So won't be too shaken if Japan can equalise, but that's looking like a long way away right now because we have a chance for a shot. 2-0, maybe no saves. The Indonesian striker took a touch, and by then the goalkeeper had closed the angle.
I mean, I don't know about you, Cole, but I love seeing the heart rates on the screen.
It is so exciting as well, especially afterwards when you can track it to those exciting moments.
Saudi Arabia, they're just equalising, making it 1-1. So far, they've only had 2 draws. Are we hoping to see a win from the host nation today?
The draw specialist, though, 2 draws against very good teams. And I think right now Japan would take a draw against Indonesia because Indonesia are defending solidly. And Japan do come forward, and that pass has been intercepted as well. And now this is where Indonesia are dangerous. There's a pass up top, it's found. One man making a run into the right channel is blocked just about. by Japan. That's why I love duo as well. The fact that you can have a human-controlled player actively blocking the through ball adds so much more to it, in my opinion, than the solo game.
And communication is so important as well in 2v2, but we do see Italy make it 1-0 there. I mean, I feel like every about 30 seconds, we've got a goal in the game at the moment.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff here at FIFAe eFootball 2025 World Championship. Through ball over the top for Japan. Can the striker get onto the end of that one? Ronaldo was sniffing around. Wasn't quite able to do so in the end. So another half opportunity disappears for Japan. And 70 minutes, is that the sort of time you start rushing? You were talking about patience earlier, or are they still there?
I feel like Indonesia are starting to play more defensive at the moment, because all they need from this game is a win to go 3 points ahead of Japan. And I think at this stage for them, that's probably the most important thing.
Equaliser for Mexico against Jordan over there. So Jordan, who are looking like one of our stronger teams, certainly than we expected, are pegged back for now. Running out of time here between Japan and Indonesia. And Japan, I think, are going to make some changes, which makes perfect sense. So let's head over to that Mexico versus Jordan match. 1-1. Jordan, the draw specialist. Can they get themselves a win?
I hope so. I mean, I personally love an underdog story, and the fact that Jordan are a new nation coming into this. Neither nation have actually played each other before, which makes it all the more exciting, because then you can start forming sort of a rivalry between both countries. But Mexico here on the attack. Can they make it 2-1? Very well defended by Jordan.
Yeah, another slightly scary headed back pass to the goalkeeper, but we saw earlier on from Poland why that's the thing to do, because it does mean you can pick where you put the next ball. Really isolate your opponents and focus on your specialist players as well. You know, if you've got a right winger who was one of your first three in the draft, you want to get them the ball. Here come Mexico. Could complete the turnaround. Oh, it's an energetic volley off the post again. So close. Jordan survived.
Jordan here on the counter-attack. They are currently on 2 draws. Really hoping for the win here. Mexico on the counter. Can they make it 2-1 here? And it's a goal. 2-1 to Mexico. This could be their second win of the day, and a very important 3 points if they can hold on to 90 minutes.
Lovely finish as well. Knew exactly what he wanted to do when he had the ball in that position. Little drag back, find the corner, using the defender as a block onto the keeper as well. Japan have made some changes.
A lot of
Ronaldo
changes.
has been hooked. He won't like that. He'll be complaining about that in the press. Wants to be Japan's leading goal scorer of all time, does Cristiano Ronaldo. But it's Indonesia that are going to have the ball. They can take away a few more seconds as well. Long they go.
9 minutes left in game here. Japan really need 1 goal here to at least take away 1 point.
Yeah, they're making chances, giving themselves opportunities. But the final ball just never seems to be there for Japan. And that's so surprising when we talk about the synergy that these two players have.
But I think, again, that's the experience that Indonesia have, being the champions. They know we've got 7 minutes left. We just need to hold on and take the 3 points here. We cannot let Japan equalize, especially that the goal difference is only 1. But they are here, through on goal. Again, well defended by Indonesia.
Yeah, no messing about there for Indonesia. Had a feeling that the Japanese player was going to try a trick there, so just stayed tall, stayed strong, and stayed in the middle. Japan ended up falling straight into that trap. Indonesia battering away everything that comes into their half. Japan sending it straight back. Need to get this flick onto Japan. Nearly there. Indonesia catch it. And of course, every time Indonesia get the ball, they can steal a 1 in-game minute away.
They can do. I mean, so far, Indonesia's tactic has been get the ball back and then just lobby it back to the keeper.
And only 1 minute as well, so Japan, it has to be now if it's going to be ever. Will it be Indonesia going on to 7 points, Japan staying on 4? A goal would be heartbreak for Indonesia. Oh, but he's passed 1 time too many. Alia, surely take the touch and shoot there.
That's the overthinking, isn't it? You start panicking. I've got 10 seconds left in game. But just overthought it. You just have to shoot in those moments to try and equalize. But a big, big, big win for Indonesia there. 1-0 over Japan. And, I mean, just feel a bit sad for the Japanese players.
Yeah, me too, especially after their intro. We all fell in love with them, but Axe and Test, they will know that they should have done more with that last second chance. You have to take those opportunities at this level of eFootball.
You can't be passing. Not when you need that one goal to equalize. But I think we have to give a big shout out to Indonesia. But we are going to head over to Milos for an interview.
Thank you very much, my friends. And yes, it is Indonesia victorious. They were champions from last year. Benang boys joining me here, still undefeated in the group stage. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, we got some luck on the match against Japan. I think we have some bad moment in the beginning, but yeah, we did better in the second half.
And it worked out really well against Japan. Thank you very much, Benang boys. I'll let you go rest up and get ready for your next game, because we're going to head into Chile versus Saudi Arabia. Take a look.
2-1 Saudi Arabia. This could be their first win of the day after 2 draws here. And as the host nation, that's really important.
Yeah, so last year they were 1 win away from qualifying into the playoffs at least. Not a favoured team here by any means, but it would be lovely to see the host nation make it through this group stage. And picking up wins as and when they can. Absolutely massive for that, vital in fact. And 2-1 lead. You know, if you win this one, you start to look at their previous draws and thinking, yeah, a draw against Turkey, not too bad. A draw against Thailand, very good, even though Thailand was struggling. On paper, that's a good one. Now with this win, it's compounded, and Saudi Arabia is suddenly looking strong.
I mean, I would love to see Saudi Arabia go all the way into the finals, because I want to see the Saudi Arabian fans here in the arena.
Oh, that's something else.
They are amazing. They're so energetic.
The Saudi fans, absolutely incredible. eSports World Cup in the summer, the Saudi fans for Falcons are huge, and of course, FIFAe eFootball last year, Saudi Arabia winning it all in the Rocket League. Ruas, TRK and Killers, complete heroes here. So if we have these KSA eFootball players achieving anything similar, it would be massive for the nation that loves its esports as well.
They do, and I think, I just love the Saudi fans. It's my first time in Saudi, and everyone's so lovely. The country's beautiful, and I'm having a great time so far.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I've been here 6 or 7 times now, I think, since 2022. Every time I'm here, I love it. Every time I'm here, it's developed further. There's more to it. Buildings now exist. The esports boulevard is even more advanced. So, yeah, KSA need to keep doing what they're doing here in this group. 2 minutes left. Surely they'll be able to hold this one out.
I really want them to hold this out. I mean, Chile as the new nation, you've got to give it to them. They're doing really well, but we do have 4 in-game minutes left. And as we know in football, anything can change and anything can happen in 4 minutes.
Yeah, Chile currently on 4 points, unbeaten. This would be their first loss, unless they have the ball on the left wing. There are passes into the centre. He goes high. Maybe should have kept that one low. And Saudi Arabia can get that one frustratingly back into the corner. It's all or nothing now for Chile.
Can we talk about his heart rate being regularly in the 60s as well?
That's pretty incredible. And a pretty incredible result as well. Cold as ice there, the Saudi players, as they take their first victory in the tournament, which will put them onto 7 points as well. Massive.
That's a big 7 points. I mean, 4 teams from each group go through into the knockouts, and all you need is to finish 4th in your group just to give you a fighting chance to get to that final place. But that is a huge win for Saudi Arabia. Their first win of the day, and hopefully they can keep this momentum going.
Yeah, tough for Chile right there. They'll have to cheer themselves back up and remind themselves they've got some big wins so far in this tournament. It's not the matchup they would have wanted. But Saudi Arabia, tight victory. To be honest though, at the end, Chile looked like they couldn't break through, and Milos is going to ask all about that game with Saudi Arabia.
Yes, we will. A victory for Saudi Arabia after 2 draws. I'm here with GOAT Iniesta himself. Iniesta, مبروك الفوز لكم هلا، بس أول ماتشين تعادل، هلا فوز. كيف حاسس حالك من بعده؟
والله شعور ما يوصف. الله يبارك فيك أول شيء. بإذن الله نقدم مباراتين كويسة، نختم اليوم بأفضل ختام. إن شاء الله نتأهل.
Of course, how is it? The question is more about how's it like to win this third matchup after 2 draws. But you know what? That's what happened in the first 2 games. We're just proud and happy that we're able to collect those 3 points in the victory in game 3 and then move on from this point onwards. And speaking of which, I'd like to ask you about Brazil. حتلعب البرازيل من بعد هالماتش هيدا، كيف متوقع هالجيم تكون لأنه البرازيل منهم فريق خفيف أبدا؟
راح تكون مباراة قوية، بالذات أنه عندهم لاعبين كلهم محترفين وعندهم مهارات متمكنين منها يعني. إن شاء الله نقدم مستوى كويس ونفوز عليهم.
It's not going to be an easy game against Brazil regardless, but we're going to give it our all. They're great players, have a lot of pedigree and great gameplay, but I'm sure we can pull something off on it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to send it back to our studio for more eFootball action.
Thanks, Milos. Yeah, I mean, every single game is tough. We have the 12 best nations on the planet competing here, don't we, in the FIFAe World Cup finals in terms of the console side of things. And we get to see the 12 best mobile later on this afternoon. These are your AXE highlights then from our featured matchup, Indonesia and Japan. It maybe wasn't as exciting as we expected. You hope for them to go all out, a few more goals there, Chris, and it was a bit, you know, a bit of a stalemate at the beginning, especially.
KG again. I think that's kind of what we said in the first few games. But at the same time, I think an important win for Indonesia to try and get things going here. Japan, for them, it's not the end of the world, but it's starting to get a little bit tense now for them. But again, every single game is difficult at this stage. But for them to manage to find that win, big one for them to get a hold of there for Indonesia. But again, KG affair.
Yeah, I mean, stand out from those matches, I would say, was Brazil in terms of what we just saw.
Yeah.
4-0 over Thailand there. Massive. I mean, that's a statement.
Yeah, showing up and showing out is exactly what Brazil are known for, and they've now started to really kick into gear. Just a very impressive performance against what has been a very tough Thailand side.
And in Group B, Poland, we haven't spoken about them that much so far this tournament. They haven't featured in any of our featured matchups, but going a little bit under the radar, but a great victory there in Morocco.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing the results coming in, goals every now and then. They've scored some absolute corkers as well. But 3-0 win over Morocco, going quite nicely in their group. I don't even know where I would kind of put them at this stage. It's like, if you're explaining they're doing well, are they a dark horse anymore? You know, they're performing well in the group. You kind of put them in that realm of, okay, they want to get through to the knockout stages, but where do they go from there? That's going to be the real question around Poland.
Well, they're in the knockout, I guess, positioning to go through at the moment. They're sitting in 4th alongside Japan. They're the same, equal on points, 4 apiece, with a win, a draw and a loss. So we're kind of saying Japan maybe, you know, need to start picking up momentum, and maybe Poland do as well.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the less that we talk about Poland, it's probably better for them. I think in terms of knowing the 2 lads who are representing Poland, they'll be very happy to kind of be under the radar and not really spoken about in the same realms. But certainly for Japan, the expectation is they're looking to get through to the knockouts, but you could just see Poland just creeping up in the shadows almost.
But Poland will hope to do that because they couldn't quite get over the mark last year. They struggled again in the earlier group stages, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think what we've seen from their performances so far, okay, yeah, they may not be sitting necessarily at a high level, but they're going away quite solid. We know that the competition has kind of risen this year. It's a different format in the sense of the draft coming through. Is that going to benefit them? At this moment in time, I think they're looking pretty solid. They'll be looking to get through the groups.
Mexico is our next featured match, but at the moment they're sitting pretty at the top of their group. Do you think that's an expected performance so far?
I really do. In terms of Mexico's setup, in terms of their team, and in terms of the 2 players on the sticks, for me, they are one of those front runners. When you talk about tournament favourites and you talk about teams that came in with expectations, I think Mexico are surpassing their own because it's their debut at the tournament, and people were not quite sure as to how they were going to travel, given the fact, you know, Mexico, in terms of the distance to travel, but they've travelled very, very well.
In terms of their experience and their debut, that doesn't always match up. When people go, oh, they've got so much experience, but why are they just competing here? Why is that, Wes?
Well, in terms of their qualification, I mean, that they had I would say, brutal qualification. You know, we talked about Asia in terms of their qualification. The Americas, it is fierce. I mean, you look at the likes of Argentina that aren't here, Peru aren't here. You know, the fact that it's Mexico and it's Brazil and it just brings out, and it just shows how tough it was for them to get through. But they put their best foot forward in qualifying as well. They were very good coming through that region, and they've just carried on that form.
any teams that you think haven't really lived up to performances at the moment? I can read out the bottom two from each, if that helps you. In terms of Group A, sitting in 5th and 6th, you've got Turkey and Thailand.
Thailand's the one.
And in B, Jordan and Morocco. Two big nations, Morocco and maybe Thailand.
I think in the sense of Jordan and Morocco, that's not too much of a surprise, but I think for Thailand especially at this stage, like, okay, again, we talk about its group stages, you warm into it, but it's the manner of that. I mean, they got hammered off Brazil there. That's not just like, okay, a tight game up against one of the tournament favorites, fair enough, whatever. 4-0 is pretty substantial. So whatever Thailand are doing, they need to stop it and start stemming it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, the one other team that we haven't mentioned there, Turkey, who were last tournament semi-finalists. They got knocked out by Indonesia in what was a classic in that semi-final last year. But at the moment, you know, they had that surprise loss to Chile, and now all of a sudden it kind of looks like, okay, they might be in some trouble here.
The reason I was just going through those now is because the players you might be able to see behind me, they've all left the arena. They get a 10-minute break now before they go into match number 4 and 5, the final 2 matches they get to play in their kind of day 1 round of fixtures. But we're just going to jump back actually to our featured matchup and check out those heart rates once again, because they do spike, and they do peak, and they do trough, and we're going to see from Binon Boys. How cool was he?
Cool enough,
almost stoic at one point, in the sense of how calm that Binon Boys was, and it seemed that way. Even when they score, they don't really get too up and out of their chairs. Instead, it's very much like business as usual. We go again. It's that almost that very much British. It's 0-0. We go again. It certainly feels like that. And the same looking at Elgas, it doesn't really move that much. It just kind of stays pretty level across the board. And they seemingly have got that confidence, even in what was a tight game against Japan.
We saw that last year though, when they won in the final. There's not much emotion.
No, and I wonder if that does come from the experience or expectation, or just maybe, I want to say, the belief in your own ability to not be having to get nervous, because you're like, no, we know we're the best in the world. We are the tournament favorites, yeah, and no stress is going to really come upon them. Not yet. I would like to think, you know, this year I'm expecting a little bit more competition up against them. So I want to see, I would love to see if we could compare them to last year. I don't believe we'll have that data, to be fair. I mean, I'm asking production for a lot, but I'd be really curious to see what the comparison will be like.
They've got Mexico and Poland as well. 2 exciting fixtures for Indonesia coming your way in a few moments' time. But for now, we're going to park the bus here after 3 matches, have a short break, come back and join us for 2 more matchups, with the feature 1 being Indonesia taking on Mexico. We'll see you in a few.
How can real-time visibility across our hydrocarbon supply chain
help keep our shelves stocked?
How can achieving a 99.8% delivery record
help bring us together?
By continually asking how, we provide reliable access to energy for everyone we serve.
Another day asking how.
Another day serving my customers.
Read all about it. World Cup prep begins.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Training for World Cup in North America has begun. And you would not believe what these guys are up to.
White 17, hot!
Preparations spiral out of control across the globe as the hunt for World Cup glory intensifies. Buckle up, folks. We're just getting started.
What was that?
Smells finer than the finest perfumes. New Axe Fine Fragrance.
The digital world speaks the language of zeros and ones. And now, with advanced digital systems, countless new numbers join the field. A 7 can break the pattern. A 9 can be the game changer. At Globant, cutting-edge technologies are at the core of everything we do, driving new and innovative solutions to shape the future of FIFA and companies across every industry. We are the official tournament sponsor of the FIFAe Finals 2025. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
الابتكار والتطور للجميع مش بس المغامرين.
تصميم الكيا K4 وهيكلها الرياضي أول شيء يلفت انتباهك.
تصميم مرة حلو، بس بالنسبة لي أنا التكنولوجيا تفرض نفسها.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Slim like a whisper, sharp in the hand, never unplanned. Every move got his game, smooth like ice, cold like flame. What's your edge?
Hello, Mot.
When I wake in the morning, I see it so clearly. It's no competition. It's just on with the vision. We giving incisions. We feeling amazing. It ain't never gonna stop when we take to the topic. We feeling amazing, feeling amazing, feeling amazing. Now back to the basics. We just keep it moving, ain't leaving no traces. Now look at their faces. Ain't no stopping us now. We controlling with aces. Now tie up your laces. Ain't no tripping. We living this, giving to chase this. Now turn up the faces. We keep living this, grizzly. We got it to face this. Feeling amazing. Take to the top and we never gon' stop it. Feeling amazing. Take to the top and we making a profit. Feeling amazing. We just living our life and we keep it above. Feeling amazing. We ain't never gon' stop and we living it up. I'm going through changes, living so dangerous. They saying he famous. I keep telling myself I'm the best with the aim. It's saying it's criminal, they do the minimal. I'm just a general, keep it subliminal. Break them the minerals, keeping it cynical. Keeping it moving in the speed of pinnacle. Feeling amazing. Take to the top and we never gon' stop it. Feeling amazing. Take to the top and we making a profit. Feeling amazing. We just living our life and we keep it above. Feeling amazing. We ain't never gon' stop and we living it up. Feeling amazing. Raising the temperature, counting your days in. Feeling amazing. Raising the temperature, counting your days in. Feeling amazing. Raising the temperature, counting your days in. Feeling amazing. Raising the temperature, counting your days in. Feeling amazing. Raising the temperature, counting your days in. Feeling amazing. Raising the temperature, counting your days in. Feeling amazing. Take to the top and we never gon' stop it. Feeling amazing. Take to the top and we making a profit. Feeling amazing. We just living our life and we keep it above. Feeling amazing. We ain't never gon' stop and we living it up. I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang. Put your money where your mouth is. I got change. I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang. Put your money where your mouth is. I got change. I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang. Put your money where your mouth is. I got change. I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang. Hey yo, Ain't no competition, dog, we the livest. Never gonna fade us, in the end we survive this. Trials, tribulations, but it only make us stronger. Never gonna stop and bring the heaters like a sauna. Gotta take it to the highest heights, deeper depths. Gotta move it right to left, but we always move in step. Gotta be the champions, dog, never losing. Get it, I gotta deliver to go. Never gonna stop, but I take it a blow. What I get to it, they never can know. What I get to it, I'm back at it, oh. My down like a python, I'm an icon, I got this. Never gonna stop, and we take it to the top. Put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang, put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang, put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang, put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang. Put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang, put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang, put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang, put your money where your mouth is. I got change, I could do it like a house bid. Now let's bang.
Well, welcome back to the FIFAe World Cup Finals 2025, where this week all eyes are focused on eFootball. And at the moment, you are watching the console tournament. Earlier on, we have seen the first 3 matches from the day in terms of Group A and B. We have 2 more matches to bring you, and that will complete 5 matches from day 1 here at the FIFAe Finals. And it's a big one coming up next in Group B. Our focus is on Indonesia taking on Mexico, currently first and second in the standings there. All eyes will be on these 2 nations to see who will possibly pull ahead or who will be lagging behind at the end of the in-game 90 minutes. Well, they're raising their eyebrows. They're looking pretty confident. Indonesia on the back of a really big victory as well a short while ago. They took on Japan. They got the victory. It was a narrow margin, 1-0 in the end. A great result all the same. In the studio, we have Christian and Cole joining me to chat all about these next two fixtures, and in particular our feature one, Indonesia and Mexico. Boys, Indonesia at the moment, with the momentum, are we saying, Cole?
Yeah, especially pre-tournament, I think that Indonesia would have been big favourites here. But Mexico are on 7 points as well. You know, you can't deny the fact that Mexico have had some great performances up to this point.
I think the only thing I would say, and not to spend negative, that Mexico's fixtures have been favourable. I want to say they won both their games against two of the teams who are now sitting bottom of their group. This is their toughest test by far. So yes, okay, we've seen them do what they've needed to do and what they've been expected to in their games that they had previously. Now is the real big test going up against the current champions.
But a team like Mexico, they're the only team in recent years to beat the likes of Brazil, who have been so dominant. They mean business, don't they?
Well, they absolutely do, yeah, but at the same time, you need to show and prove it. I've been enjoying what I'm seeing from Mexico, but I'm playing devil's advocate in the sense that we haven't seen them go up against top competition today. However, they're still just doing whatever they need to do. Indonesia have started to step it up. Massive, massive test.
Well, it's defending champions Indonesia taking on our debutants in the form of Mexico. Let's learn a little bit more about this duo now.
I feel very excited. I never played here in the Safe Arena, so it's very unique experience, especially playing with a friend, so I'm very excited for it.
Pues es como el máximo nivel que uno puede encontrar en esta competición que es eFootball. Es una sensación increíble poder conocer a otras personas que son igual de buenas que tú o quizá mejores que tú, y es una sensación fantástica poder competir contra ellos.
I've been playing this game since I was like 5 years old. I'm feeling really happy to represent my country and also my sports team, my Chivas Esports.
Que vean el torneo, que van a quedar sorprendidos.
Well, that's teed us up absolutely perfectly. The two titans at the top of Group B will now be butting heads. Whereas both nations starting out very nicely indeed. 6 points from their wins and just a point from their draws. 7 points total. They're locking horns now. It's a pleasure to be back with you, my friend.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in the natural habitat of the commentary box. But yeah, this is box office. It has everything written over it. This is very much the sleeper hit of the day. Every commentary analogy you can think of, this is this game entirely.
And we are underway. Indonesia, last year's triumphant champions, up against Mexico, this year's sleeper hit. It is going to be Elga and Binong boys up against Androli Pumas and Arsenal style. And for Indonesia, they started things off quite slowly in the tournament so far, but they're starting this game off nicely indeed. The first goal in just 3 minutes, and it's Indonesia striking first.
Yeah, it was, again, really well built up, moving the ball across the box, found it towards Christian Vieri in the box, off of the save, tucks it away, 1-0.
Well, I said they started the tournament as a whole off very, very slowly indeed. They went 2-0 down against Jordan in their first game, clawed it back to 2-2, then went on to secure wins against both Morocco and Japan. And they've started that game off in an ideal fashion. 3 minutes and 1-0. We'll hop over to see what's going on between Chile and Italy. Both of these two would love an extra 3 points to their tally so far.
Yeah, I mean, Italy, they're going to have to try and recover quickly from that disappointing defeat to Brazil. They're up against Chile, who have their own surprise victory against Turkey under their belt. So, again, as Chris rightly pointed out on the sofas, there isn't an easy game here at the FIFAe World Cup.
They seem to have flattered to deceive a little bit so far, Italy, but they're on the charge here with Eterito crossing in towards Naples, who heads it on, but, well, they're going to have to try and steady themselves here again. Chile have been slowly but surely going about their business here, haven't they? The South American side's very tough to beat in the group stages.
Yeah, they certainly were. They came through a very tough qualifying phase as we cut back to Indonesia versus Mexico. Our featured game. There's a corner to Mexico. Ball delivered into the box. Header just over the bar.
I think that was the Arsenal style. Had that chance just then following the corner. Just 4 minutes after that goal went in by the 2024 champions. And it's worrying, I think, for the rest of the competition, isn't it? Whereas when you see Indonesia, they start off, they go 2-0 down to Jordan, and you think, okay, maybe someone else might have a chance this year. Since then, they've been rampant, and they're coming forward again as Benong Boys heads it. It was Elgar in the end with a chance, but straight into the grateful hands of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, what is it about when teams are winning ugly and they start to churn out results? Is that there's an opportunity here though for Mexico to try and get the ball through, but it's cleared away on the edge of the 18-yard box and over halfway. But Mexico have it back in the centre circle. I moved on to this near side, but the pass is cut out. They do have possession still, do Mexico. There's neat footwork and a passing field, but again, it's resilient defensive work by Indonesia.
Yeah, and around the grounds here, of course, we're keeping an eye on all 6 matches happening, and that's Eterito scoring for Italy, breaking the deadlock over there. And a nice little ball roll, followed by the strike from Elgar. Benong Boys, risky fight and can try and play it back to his teammate, but Mexico living very dangerously here. Something tells me this might just be the most end-to-end game that we'll see from the group stages.
Yeah, it certainly will. It's certainly attack versus attack more than attack versus defence between these two teams, but neat little move on the edge of the box there by Indonesia. Super cancel and then managed to get themselves a shot off with that little dummy that goes in there. Really bought themselves some space as Mexico have the ball on the near side touchline, but it goes out of play for an Indonesia throw.
They're champions of last year, despite finishing second in Group A, if you cast your mind back. So it's Indonesia, they've been in situations before where they know the group stages isn't where the money is made in this type of international tournament. They're happy to start slow, survive some of the early scares. And now, here come Indonesia, dispossessed smartly though by Arsenal style, cleared up the pitch.
Yeah, as we cut to a replay here, it's Brazil versus Saudi Arabia. As Brazil look to move forward, it was Neymar into Hullet, and that's tucked away. Brazil have themselves a goal lead against the hosts.
Yeah, the host nation under the cosh. João Victor with the finish in that match. And now Indonesia, they're chasing their second into the box here. Elgar, though, dispossessed. Once again, Arsenal style of Mexico being called into defensive duties. And we're about 15 minutes, give or take a few minutes for stoppages away from half-time here. We've seen some signs of life from Mexico, but the Central American side have been much the second best side between the two here in the first half.
Yeah, they've struggled to get their attack going, have Mexico, as we get a replay here. It's a set piece for Poland versus Jordan, and they get very lucky. They try and get it under the wall. Instead, they get the ricochet and took it away for 1-0 as we join back the action with Indonesia, who have it right in this near side corner. The ball to the edge of the box. They played it into the box. There's an opportunity here for Indonesia. Can they develop it, though? They're shielding the ball well. Striker goal can save. Captain in the back post!
That is what they do best. We saw that time and time again last year. Right place, right time for the second ball. And it's Indonesia doubling their advantage. 2-0 at the top of Group B here. Right place, right time. The two so in sync.
That is why they are champions. They work a chance until they have the opportunity to gear it. And again, it's Christian Vieira used on that mopping up job that he had. join here. Italy versus Chile as they have their goal lead. They have their ball at the edge of the box. Neat ball roll into the box, and it's pulled and fired into the back of the net. Italy have a 2-goal lead.
That'll be a nice cushion for them. Naples scoring that one. So both the Italian representatives on the board in their match elsewhere. Our featured match has the 2024 champions well in control here as Rizky Fidan has time and space to pick out his man. Five minutes until half-time. Will we see another chance for Mexico in this first half? Played inside now to Andrei Pumas, who pokes it on to his countryman. Some hold-up play on the horizon, maybe. That one straight into the red-shirted Garuda and cleared. Still chance maybe for one of these nations to have another pop at the opposition's goal here in the first half, Wes.
Yeah, and Indonesia have a way through. It's a through ball in one-on-one. It's squared across the box.
Oh, I don't think they scored it.
They haven't. It's been cleared away by Mexico. Such was the quickness of production to get us back the pictures. It fell apart, but Mexico have it up the other end. There's an opportunity here. Tap. Oh, it's a back heel that gets blocked away by Indonesia. They have a corner.
Truly end-to-end stuff here. Don't think you can blame production thinking that Indonesia were going to continue their scoring form. But now Mexico have a corner late on here. And I can tell you there have been goals elsewhere. But for now, we'll take a look at the final action here at the first half. And it will go into half-time. Indonesia 2, Mexico 0. And these two cannot really afford to give anyway more chances. But, well, we join the action right as the land of the rising sun score.
Yeah, so again, we cut right into the action and we cut right into a goal for Japan. As I'm looking at the corner, there's so many other ones going in, which I'm sure we'll get to, but we'll see this one here. It's a beautiful ball down the left-hand side. First time pass into Ruud Gullit on the penalty spot, tucks it away, and Japan have their lead.
As cool as you like, we've just been waiting, haven't we, for Japan to really come alive in this tournament. Late on here in the first half, that stoppage time, it was 1-1 between Brazil and Saudi Arabia, our host nation. Brazil have reinstated their 1-goal advantage there with the goal we just saw through that replay.
Yeah, it followed an equaliser from Saudi Arabia that we didn't see. Such was the ferocity of Jay Victor's celebrations. The ball is back with us here with Japan versus Morocco. It's cleared away by Japan on the edge of the box, but Morocco have it back, momentarily cleared away though. And Japan look to build up once more in the centre of the park as they move around to the far side. And over halfway it is now as Japan look to build up brilliantly. It's a neat through ball. It's a brilliant strike, but it's saved by the goalkeeper.
Let me tell you, this is worrying for the rest of the competition, because if Axe and Tess have found their groove, the two DRX members, of course, they're going to be very, very difficult to beat here. Morocco have been having an absolutely torrid time of things so far in the group stages. And they find themselves 1-0 down here with a corner to Japan to defend. Back to our featured match though. 10 minutes have passed here in the second half. Indonesia still 2 up against Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico still yet to really register an attack of real danger as the long throw goes into Jan Koller. He's headed it down. It's Ronaldo! And it's into the hands of the goalkeeper by way of deflection, but it's the first real opportunity that Mexico have had. But it's utilising that physicality that Jan Koller gives you to try and free up those other attacking weapons that they have. They can't find the back of the net on that occasion.
Yeah, we did wonder how much of a focal point Jan Koller would be for many of these attacks. We expected the meta, if you will, to be cross it into the big man, but haven't seen too much of that so far. A lot of that down to, of course, the Phase 2 players, and in some instances, the Phase 1 players. The key players chosen within the draft. You want those tall defenders. A lot of Virgil van Dijk's chosen in Phase 1.
Yeah, a lot of Dan Burn picked for Chris Dunn back on the sofa as well. But again, it's height disparity, it's physicality, it's everything you want from eFootball as Mexico look to try and find a ball into the centre. But again, it cleared away by Indonesia. And that's what they were known for last year, Harry, was being resolute in defence, but being clinical up front.
Yeah, not afraid ever to take a risk. Go for that early strike, chase that second ball. That's how they were able to score the first goal of our featured match here. Just 20 minutes remaining as Mexico are staring down their first defeat of this year's tournament. Of course, did not compete in last year's FIFAe World Cup finals featuring eFootball console. Over here, our host nation, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, giving a good game to Brazil. We saw João Victor scoring that go-ahead goal. But Saudi Arabia have been very, very difficult to deal with for a lot of our nations in the group stages.
Yeah, I had a quick chat with them yesterday. They were very happy with their draft as we've cut across here to Poland versus Jordan. Poland having a 2-1 lead from right to left on your screen. It's Zilo with the ball in the centre of the park now. It's flicked on from Hullet, but it's cleared away at the edge of Jordan's box as we flick back to, or over to, Italy versus Chile. Italy still with a 2-goal lead here. There's a flick towards the back post, and it made 3-0 by the way of Ruud Hullet. As we're back with Poland v Jordan.
Listen, you combine Eterito with Ruud Hullet, and the result is goals. There's no other way out of that equation. Poland 2, Jordan 1. We can hop over back to our featured match, Indonesia and Mexico. Still vying for supremacy here. Mexico need some action to go their way here soon, and well, they've tried to chase that header back, but never getting there.
And interestingly, you can see top left-hand corner, the substitutes that have come on. Koller, Ronaldo both off, Thuram, Van Basten on. Certainly a change in shape or in terms of their prowess of what they're going to go for. They're going to look trying to tackle the ground, but they've got to keep it close to the back post, and it's into the back of the net. Indonesia make it 3-0. It's Cody Gakpo.
Oh, risky find out, as cool as you like. Finishing that one with aplomb.
It's another day at work for him, looking at his reactions. Just another day.
Just smiling, playing with a smile on his face. We love to see it. Indonesia look very, very well drilled. Last year's champion. Coming for the back-to-back, and here is that Cody Gakpo goal. We saw the super cancel, just taking his time. Knew he had all the time in the world. Now, take you two nations that are struggling here in the group stages. It's Turkey and Thailand. And it's Turkey who have gone ahead.
That's a massive goal for them in terms of their aspirations, as we alluded to, both at the foot of their group at the moment. That's a massive goal for Turkey.
It's a huge goal for them. Indonesia are looking to try and run up the tally here. 3 goals to the good, 10 minutes remain. I think this one's probably a foregone conclusion. But there's been a big goal elsewhere. Stay tuned to find out which way it's gone as we await the Indonesia corner here. That one's wasted, tried to play it short. But take a look at this, Wes. Saudi Arabia against Brazil. It's our host nation equalising 2-2 in that game.
I can see the math that Brazil have tried there. They've manual goalkeep to get their goalkeeper into position, but it does leave you exposed, especially when the ball gets knocked down by Saudi Arabia. And, goals and Saudi Arabia and Cristiano Ronaldo, I think there's some type of puzzle there, Harry.
I see the connection. I see the connection. Tell you, the connection has been on point in this game. Bidong boys and Elga picking up where they left off. Mexico, this will be their first blip in the group stages, following tremendous performances, beating Morocco 3-1, drawing 2-2 with Poland, and then a massive result against Jordan. But Indonesia are just different gravy at the 2v2 game.
Yeah, once they get their feet set and once they get comfortable, they very much make themselves at home wherever they play on the eFootball planet.
It's just a formality at this point. Chance perhaps for a consolation for Mexico. But Indonesia with yet another 3 points. Their third win on the spin. Respect between the nations. But something tells me not for the last time I'm going to say this. Indonesia win again.
It's huge. It's a huge result. Given the fact they're both level on points coming into the fixture. Again, you talk about the intangibles, you talk about a psychological blow. Of course, you've got the reverse fixtures coming tomorrow. That's a big statement of intent from Indonesia. Mexico will be smarting after that one, and they have the added bonus that they've got to go again.
Yeah, they have to go again. It's been somewhat of a disappointing year for Rizky Faidan and Elga. Obviously, since this time last year, being champions, haven't seen too much from them. Elga qualifying for the World Finals, but losing in the quarter-finals. That's, of course, in the 1-versus-1 discipline. He's back where he is most comfortable. Well, let's go down to the stage and hear from one of my favourite players. Jasmine is with Rizky Faidan.
Congratulations are in order. Bidong boys, I have to ask you though, this year, are you finding it more difficult than the previous year, considering the fact you guys were winners last year? What about coming into 2025? Is the competition easier, more difficult, or about the same?
Yeah, I think this year FIFAe will be way difficult because, you know, as a title holder, of course, every single opponent will put their eyes on us. So, yeah, of course. I expect this FIFAe would be much more difficult than the last year.
Well, you know what, considering the fact that you've got a big target on your back, I'm not going to keep you for much longer. Congratulations again, and I'm going to let you get warmed up for your next game.
Thanks so much. Great to hear from Rizky Faidan down there with veracity. The players are still playing heat number 4. We have some games to catch up on, one of which Japan, Morocco. And the Blue Samurai looking pretty comfortable so far in this game. Have 10 minutes to defend what is a slender 1-goal advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but they've got a chance here. Pulled it towards the back post. It's escaped the clutches of it momentarily. It's got into the goalkeeper's hands. And Morocco, their blushes are spared as the ball is delivered long downfield. It's headed clear by the Japan defence, and it's now onto halfway and onto that far side for them to look and try and charge down their right-hand side. They've now played the ball cross-field in towards the 18-yard box. It's flicked back by Morocco and cleared away. The first time of asking. Morocco seemingly now just trying to find some form or fashion forward. They found a ball down the left-hand side. There's not a lot of support, but it's been made up for here. There's an opportunity for Morocco, but it's cleared away for a corner.
Some late pressure from Morocco. And it's a wasted corner in the end. Just fluffed their lines a little bit. You just have to ask, will they get another chance like that?
I don't think they'll get another opportunity. Knowing the way that the two Japan players play and how they play as a unit, they will just want to close this one out and get a victory on the board.
Well, here comes Tess, dispossessed there. And Morocco, as we've said, had a torrid tournament so far, losing 3-1 to both Mexico and Indonesia. And then 3-0 to Poland after that. And we're in the 90th minute, staring down the barrel of a 4th straight defeat. Japan have the ball. Here is Axe on that far side, just trying to kill some of that clock. Always beating his man as well. Maybe they can go for two here, Japan. It's Axe, he's trying to go all the way and cause Morocco problems. Dispossessed, and it's up the pitch here for Morocco. They might have one last chance, but Virgil is there. Japan, they'll clear, and the referee will award the 3 points.
Yeah, again, a valuable win for Japan in terms of other games going on. Of course, we've now just cut across to Saudi Arabia versus Brazil. Poland beat Jordan by 3-1. But the headline here, folks, the hosts are beating Brazil by 3-2.
Wow. Wow. That is a big, big shock. Brazil, one of the favourites coming into this. Another nation that had somewhat of a slow start with that 0-0 draw to South American rivals, Chile. And then big wins against Italy and Thailand, put them in prime position. But the hosts here, slowly going about their business. 2 draws and then a win in the previous heat against Chile. They're moments away from what would be a famous victory here.
It certainly would. I had a quick chat with Mendo, the coach in the white on your screen. And Saudi Arabia as a whole, both in mobile and in console, were very happy with the team that they had drafted. They understood what they had at their disposal, and they felt that they had everything that they needed coming into this draft. They understood just how important it was to get that draft under, get it where you need it to be. But to be 3-2 up against Brazil after, as you quite rightly mentioned, some of the results they've had and some of the performances they've had, this would be a huge victory.
We'll see how much time is left on the clock once we resume. I believe it's about 10 minutes. And well, Saudi Arabia are down to 10 men. Patrick Vieira sent off for them. So Brazil, they'll be buoyed by that as João Victor. His shot is blocked. Corner to come.
Batten down the hatches, Saudi Arabia. You're in for a rough one here. It was Neymar just on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was deflected away for a corner. But when you're down to 10, now it's just everybody into the trenches, get as many of these balls cleared out as possible. It doesn't matter how ugly it is, just get it across the line.
Batten down the hatches will be the instruction. You'll see the Canary squad try and pour everything into this group stage match to get a result, get goals back. There's Henriquinho there, just dwelling on the ball. Good clearance by Figo.
As we know all too well with this game, is that the longer you keep this ball in, that clock will tick down in the top left-hand corner. So for Saudi Arabia, they don't want the ball dead. They just want it as far away from their goal as humanly possible.
They're doing everything they can to just maintain that territory. Look at the press. Now the problem is, you do cede a lot of space behind the pressers, and that space that Brazil can try and exploit, but Saudi Arabia have been imperious in this game. Now Brazil coming forward, it's Henriquinho. Can he find his teammate? Tackled in the end by Iniesta. 6 minutes added on. Wow, that's a big number.
Yeah, very rarely seen in eFootball, but be a result of all of the goals and that red card that we see. There's an opportunity.
Look at the press. Oh, it's a foul.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one, Harry. I'm not sure about that one. I've seen them give it, I've seen them not.
That's
Brazil will be very happy.
That is a let-off. The press from the Green Falcons has been, as I said before, imperious. João Victor trying his trademark skills. Anywhere will do for Saudi Arabia. Just over a minute left in this game. Last chance to loon, surely. João Victor, is he just dwelling on the ball a little bit too much? It's cleared once again by Saudi Arabia. Last chance here, the ball has to go forward. Headed down, Henriquinho will just about get onto the end of this one. Can he find a Canary squad shirt? In the centre, no! Saudi Arabia with a famous group stage victory. Take down one of the tournament favourites. It's the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia 3, Brazil 2. The lads in the canary yellow shirts can only shake their heads and wonder what went wrong, but the Green Falcons on home turf take the 3 points.
It's a funny old game, isn't it, Harry? It's a brilliant thing when home field advantage comes to the fore. And they went down to 10 men. They did it the hard way, but for Saudi Arabia, would you want it any other way that ends in a victory against Brazil?
Wow. That is going to upset the pecking order, I think, in Group A. I mean, it's only fair we go and hear from the triumphant men on the stage. Milos is with them now.
Yes, I am. Figo is joining me. What an incredible matchup we just had between Saudi Arabia and Brazil. Figo, look, I mean, 2 wins back-to-back. You beat Brazil 3-2, and with a red card on top of it. How do you do that? أكيد ربحين فوزين ورا بعضهم، تشيلي والبرازيل 3-2 ضد فريق هائل مثل البرازيل، وكمان اخذين بطاقة حمراء. كيف حاسين حالكم بالماتش؟ كيف قدرتوا تفوزوا ضدهم؟
أول شيء الحمد لله على الفوز، صراحة فوز مهم جدا. احنا نبحث ورا الصدارة دائما، فلما تفوز على منتخب زي البرازيل يعني مرشح للبطولة شيء يعني خرافي صراحة. وإن كيف حولنا الطرد إلى حاولنا يعني نغير في التكتيك وكذا إلى ما نسير المباراة مثل ما نبغى، والحمد لله يعني مشيناها مثل ما نبغى وجبنا الفوز، وإن شاء الله باقي البطولة تأهلوا البطولة بإذن الله.
It's a very tough game. Of course, you're playing against tournament favorites in Brazil. You have to give it your all. You never know what you get. But we did win at the end of the day. It was a lot of effort, and we had to change our tactics really to slow the game down, control the pace of it, and get the victory against a big team like Brazil. Hopefully this gets us across the line in qualification. Figo, thank you very much. إسا عندك إسا ماتش واحد فاضل لفريق السعودية. شو بدك تقول للفريق الأخير اللي حتلعبوا ضده؟
حاب اقول لهم العبوا لعبكم يعني. احنا راح نلعب للفوز ان شاء الله، وباذن الله راح نجيب الفوز والصداره، وكل التوفيق لهم ولنا.
Well, good luck to our next opponents. We're going to bring our all. We want to take the first place in our group and see them there. That is it from Figo and Saudi Arabia with a huge victory against Brazil. Back to the studio.
Well, thanks, Milos, and that's exactly what they're doing, aren't they, at the moment? They are top of the standings in their group with 8 points now. That's Group A. They've just leapfrogged the likes of Brazil and Italy. And Italy, who they actually have next, do Saudi Arabia in their 5th and final matchup of today. As we just see Italy and Chile, lots of results coming in. Indonesia, Mexico, remember, was our featured matchup. They actually ended 3-0. In the end. What a dominating performance from Indonesia. Let's start with that as we see the highlights of all of the matches.
Yeah, Indonesia very, very steady away. Just did what they needed to do. And again, I don't want it to feel like I was calling Mexico out beforehand, but we knew that this would be their biggest test after the games they had, and there is the level that they're going to have to bring if they do want to keep going forward. Finding those wins, get themselves to the knockout, that is the kind of competition you're going to be going up against.
Yeah, I mean, I loved what I heard from Mexico in their pre-match interview. They were saying that we are here to face players as good as us and better than us. They are aware that there are nations of the caliber of Indonesia and that they need to learn and step up to face them. Haven't quite managed to do that this time, but it's a long old tournament, Rachel, and I'm sure they will improve.
Well, these are just the confirmation results in our 4th fixture out of 5 today. Group A at the top there. We just mentioned it a few moments ago. Brazil, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia getting that victory puts them at the top of Group A standings on 8 points. Brazil and Italy in 7. Turkey 5, Chile 4, and Thailand, I think, which is Chris is pointing at 1 point.
To me, that's more of a surprise that Thailand are bottom than Saudi Arabia in top.
Really?
That is.
I mean, you predicted them at the top of the show.
Okay, well, there may be some favoritism here, in absolute fairness.
You gave them the Chris of death.
Well, yeah, no, we did say that before. I was wondering if you're going to say that live or not. Well, yeah, there you are. No, but for Thailand to be bottom with 1 point, that is insane.
Group B then, going to form in your opinion. I was going to say your expert opinion, Chris, but can I say that now, what you just said about Thailand? Indonesia at the top.
That's not a surprise whatsoever. I don't think you need to be an expert to know that. 10 points for Indonesia. Kind of where we expect them to be. But other than that, the group is probably playing out how we expected over in Group B more so. Mexico kind of in and amongst the mix, Japan stepping things up, Poland looking a really solid outfit as well. Yeah, but Indonesia pretty dominant towards the top.
For Group B, it almost looks like it's locked out of who's going through.
It does seem to be there's a clear shape here. Jordan, they had a couple of decent draws to start off with, but it does just seem as they play further and further, the standard of players they're up against is getting a bit too much to them. A little bit disappointed by Morocco. I expected them to be able to nick a draw here or there. I hope they're able to get at least a point, because last year Costa Rica only got one, and that is what they're competing against to not be the worst team.
And in Group A, obviously we've just seen that, but just in terms of who's going through at the moment, Chile and Thailand aren't, but Chile are a little bit in closer contention with 4 points to 5 that's kind of occupied by Turkey at the moment. So a little bit closer in that one with one final round to go today before we do rinse and repeat tomorrow for the console guys. In terms of what players need to do in this 5th and final fixtures, anything need to drastically change for any of the teams?
I mean, I want to make sure they aren't leaving anything out there. Really, it's very easy to go into the final game and think, okay, let's make no mistakes. You know, let's be safe. If you do that, you can go into tomorrow and suddenly you're really struggling. So they have to attack it.
Well, teams like Thailand can't do that anymore. They can't be playing it safe. They have to go in. They have to be able to find some wins sooner rather than later. Things are not looking great for them in the group whatsoever. As a team that we were kind of putting in one of our top tiers, right? Okay, they could have been in amongst the pack, but for them to be dead last right now is mind-blowing to say the least.
Is it embarrassing for them to be struggling this much?
I would say so, especially considering, like, I mean, you've got a world champion on your team. How are we not winning some games?
And 2 players from the same team as well, club team, Buriram United. They do, though, maybe look at it as a positive next. They do have Chile, who are sitting just above them in their last matchup. Can we say that's a positive?
I mean, I'm very impressed that you've dug out a positive out of the amount of points that they've got so far, with the caliber they've got. That's good. So yes, they can say that's a positive, but sadly they can't even think themselves that positive because, you know, the schedule was already set.
I know, really unexpected results coming out of today. The fact that Thailand are sitting at the bottom of Group A at the moment. In terms of Group B, we just saw the featured matchup, Indonesia and Mexico, and we can look at some heart rates as well from that one. Were they cool or were they not? Oh, Chris, where are you going?
Look, right, so what I kind of wanted to point to, the numbers stay very, very similar. We say that these boys play well together. Look how in sync they are. It looks a little bit different, but they're very, very similar average heart rates here. And I wonder if it's just that, are they synced up together? I don't really know. Like, to me, it's pretty similar.
What's the mid 140 heart rate? If we're looking at that in terms of exercise, what kind of exercise
for me, walking
are you
up the stairs.
There are a lot of stairs here, guys. But I guess in terms of exercise, it's what? Moderate running?
It's a
steady pace.
Effort in there.
What are we saying? Is it in terms of 2 and 3 in the intensity level there? So yes, low intensity heart rate zone.
It's one of those steady little runs, you know. You're trying to just a casual little 10K, nothing too crazy.
Well, for Indonesia, that is the group stages. It's steady. They're just going through the motions. They're pretty cool. They're defending champions. They know exactly how to progress in this tournament, don't they? Well, one final set of fixtures to bring you, and I know you'll be excited to learn which is our featured matchup. I can tell you it's Brazil taking on Turkey, and this one's going to be interesting because Brazil will be meaning business.
Yeah, they will be frustrated after that loss to Saudi Arabia, will Brazil. So much quality. They brought in Henriquinho, and they have done that because second is not good enough for this team, Chris. They want to win this entire tournament, and they've not been playing like that just yet.
Not quite yet. I'll touch again on Brazil in a second, but for Turkey, I mean, they're kind of pushing through. They're doing okay, but we need to maybe see a little bit more. But for Brazil, one of the big storylines for me is no Guevara here. He's one of our multiple-time world champions, and that puts pressure on Henriquinho to me, because in the sense, okay, look who you are replacing. We know João Victor, we know what he's going to bring to the table. He's going to bring a higher level, but Henriquinho, the pressure is going to be there. Brazil are one of the absolute favorites of this tournament. Henriquinho's a very good player, but to replace him with somebody like Guevara, that's it. I don't want to say it's a big ask, but there's big shoes to fill, to say the least.
As for Turkey as well, I mean, this is the team that won, I think it was Group A last year, so by no means are they pushovers. They went out in the semi-finals to Indonesia, the eventual winners last time around. So I think they've sort of flown under the radar a little bit because they went out in the semis and didn't make the finals, but they are an incredibly dangerous team and not the sort of team Brazil want to go up against after KSA.
Have countries realised how Brazil play? Because we heard from Saudi Arabia, we slowed it down because we knew that was how to get a victory. Are we going to see the same here from Turkey when they go up against the Brazilians?
Well, we talked about the drafts and how everyone went pretty physical. Brazil didn't necessarily lean into that too much. So I wonder if Saudi Arabia have looked at that and say, okay, well, how do we stop them playing and keep the ball off them? Because that's what they want to do. They want to play with the ball. They want to cause as much problem as they can. They want to play joga, but they do it all the time. This is what Brazil fans want. That's what the Brazilian team and players want. If you can keep the ball off them, they ain't dancing around you, right? Like, it's very easy to maybe score a counter-attack with a big cross in or something along those lines. They are preventing them from doing that. If Turkey can do the same thing, could be a big result.
How much does a loss for Brazil against Saudi Arabia affect them going into this?
It depends how solid the team is. I mean, they're experienced players. They've got an experienced coach behind them that was here last year with them, and they will know that this format is exhausting. You are going to have upsets. You are going to have matches that don't go your way. You know, it was a wild game against Saudi Arabia. There was the red card. There was 5 goals in it. So I think they have to put that down to one of those matches that can happen. I think it's when you lose 2 in a row, that's when the questions can come in. So this is their chance to make sure those questions never occur. If they don't take that chance, then yes, they'll get in their own heads.
Well, FIFA posed some questions to the Brazilians ahead of the tournament. Let's get the answers to those questions now ahead of their final matchup of today.
It's the best situation. I love my country. I always watch the team football and other sports, so it's my time to represent my country. I want to show how Brazil play. Joga bonito. I feel I represent 1 million people because Brazil is stronger in every sport. When I start play video games, I want to see this moment in my career. And now I live in this. I play too much with my teammate, and we are so confident because we know how I play. He understands me, I understand him in every situation. So I know the last year is runner-up, but this year he's champion.
Welcome to round 5 of eFootball console. Coming into this round after a very exciting round 4, isn't that right?
Oh yeah, what a round 4 we had. I mean, the games, the goals, the score. I mean, we have seen it all, but we still have one more round going on right now. Saudi Arabia beat Brazil in a game that was very close to Brazil, to be honest, but that shows the mentality and how good the team of Saudi are.
I mean, the tables literally turned in Group A after that defeat for Brazil. Saudi are now top of Group A. And, well, Brazil are now currently playing Turkey, who are currently 4th in Group A. And we know only 4 groups of 4 nations go through to the knockout.
Yes, we saw Turkey earlier today. They were not really playing the way they should be, but they are a really tough team to play against. Jordan, the team that played really well in the first game, but they couldn't win a single game so far. That's shocking. And now we have Saudi against Italy. Both of these teams are like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So this is game, I think this game will decide who will finish day 1 as number 1.
Just off the back of speaking about Jordan there, they have gone 1-0 up, capturing or scoring a really, really early goal, which is extremely important. But we do know here as well with Turkey, they are only 1 point ahead of Chile. They need this win as much as Brazil want to get a win off the back of the Saudi Arabian loss.
You are completely right here. Jordan, the good thing about this team is that they always take the lead against any team in their group. They took the lead against Indonesia. They took the lead even in the 2nd game. Now they are taking a lead, but they cannot keep it.
We are here now going over to the Mexico-Japan game. Mexico 1-0 up against Japan. Is that a shocker for you?
Japan played also really well at the beginning, but Mexico, no. To be honest, Mexico are very, very good team. And there is no surprise for me that we see them leading against Japan, or why not win the game?
No, of course. And the Brazil-Turkey game as well. It's a big game because in 2024, Brazil were top 2, Turkey were top 4. So both teams are wanting to get to that final to win this whole thing.
Yes, this is really tough game. And it can go either way. But who is more focused and use the players in the right way. And of course, he can keep the lead when they are leading, and why not score more goals?
I mean, essentially, Brazil have only had about 5 minutes to sort of calm themselves down before they came into this game. I mean, you were a competitor as well for eFootball.
Yes.
What do you think is going through their minds right now?
Well, that's a really good question, but I think at the moment, all what they have to think about is how to score that first goal. Because when you take the lead, it's really hard to come back, especially in this game.
Well, we do see Brazil here trying to attack, but I think Turkey at the moment, they are all over Brazil, attempting a goal here. Very, very well saved. We are going to bring you over to the Poland and Indonesia game, where we do see Indonesia go 1-0 up.
Nice.
They are the champions. How do you think they've been performing so far today?
I mean, they are playing really well. They only drew one game, and the rest were just win after another. Now they are leading. They are playing the way they want to play. And not only that, but also they are scoring goals in a way that shows the quality of these players.
We do here have another goal for you. Japan against Mexico, equalizing, making it 1-1 in the 21st minute. What's been your favorite game so far today to watch?
Honestly, I think Saudi against Brazil, like very tense game. I mean, we were close to the streamer desk, and we were the Saudi guys streaming and screaming after every single goal. So that passion, that is the thing that we really want to see in this kind of tournaments, and that's what we're already living in.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about as well with the Saudi Arabian fans. They are so passionate and they just love the country. But we do see here Takea on the attack. Again, very well defended by Brazil.
I think Brazil are still thinking about the previous game, which is maybe affecting them a little bit. And that's why we see Turkey is like covering almost 90% of the field and creating chances, attacking, taking the initiative every single time. But they need this goal. And now is like the best time to score this goal.
I mean, as we were saying, 5 minutes isn't much time to reset, but we are going to take you over to Saudi Arabia and Italy, where Italy did go 1-0 up. They're currently sitting third in the group. Would you say they're sort of safe to make it to the knockouts at the moment?
Well, we still have plenty of games that will be played tomorrow. But at the moment, if they win against Saudi, I think they are most likely will be in the knockout stage.
Taking
is
you
that
back.
The second?
Yes, that's the Jordan goal again.
Oh, what a goal.
2-0 up. I'm very, very impressed by Jordan. As a new nation.
They always start the game very strong, you know? Like, if they just can keep that momentum, you know, and they can keep the lead that they always go for. But the thing here is that they always fail sometimes. I don't know, is it about defending? Is it about lack of chemistry between these players? But now their chance, you know? You cannot throw it away like that.
Well, at halftime, the Brazil-Turkey game is currently sitting at 0-0. A very important game for both sides, but we are going to go over to the Poland and Indonesia game. 1-0 up, currently just before halftime.
What do you think, Alia? Who do you think is like more likely to win this game?
In this game?
Yes.
I think Indonesia. I think Poland, they are currently sitting second in the group, with 7 points. So they're not far off Indonesia. It's sort of 1 and 2 at the moment. But Indonesia do have the experience of being the champions. And experience is so important in eFootball.
You are completely right. Yeah, I think Indonesia is like more likely going to win this game unless something happens at this. No, not really.
We nearly jinxed it for ourselves, didn't we, Abdul?
Well, I always do that, to be honest.
Just about a minute left here. Very well defended again by Indonesia. I think we're going to see this one go 1-0 into halftime.
You know, it's always good to finish the first day with a win. You know, going to the second day with a win in your last game, believe me, it's a completely different situation for the players. So this game and the first game is like the most important games mentally for me.
We are now back here with the Brazil and Turkey game. Still 0-0, 53rd minute in game. I think this is either going to finish as a draw or go either way.
Yeah, I think so. But Brazil, after the first half, and we saw the total domination from Turkey, I think they are a little bit back in the game. Yes. So it is not easy, as I said, but they have to do something here. Brazil, I think the last game affected them a lot, especially in a mental way. And that's why we saw Brazil lacking of, let's say, creating of chances. And if you can see right now, it's only half way, and they are just defending and attacking, creating chances all the time.
I mean, as we mentioned, it does take some time to get back into a positive state, especially what would be for them a disappointing loss against Saudi Arabia. But we still have about 30 minutes left in game. There's plenty of time for Brazil to potentially have 3 points and top the table again.
Exactly. And that's why we need to work on the mental side a lot, especially in this kind of sports, which is esports, of course, because every player knows the tricks, knows the movements, knows the way to score and create chances, but they must also be aware and be prepared to be mentally ready.
Takea here on the attack again, a fantastic through ball. Again, well defended by Brazil so far this game. They might not be creating as much chances, but they are on it with the defending at the moment.
Yeah, I think Brazil, if they didn't lose this game, a draw could be a good point, to be honest.
Brazil here in the box. Is he going to pass it through? Great ball. Oh, well saved.
Oh, that was really nice. Going to the wing, finding the gap, and he tried to do it with the back heel.
Back over to the Japan-Mexico game, where they did go 2-1 up just before halftime here.
You know, Japan is like a team that, of course, they suffered a lot last year, where they only they lost actually in the group stage. So this year, I'm sure they do not want to be grouped. So they are trying their very best to go to the knockout stage.
Yeah, and I think they are playing better this year. I mean, they won their qualifiers, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, of course, of course.
Over here in the Chile and Thailand game, we do see Thailand here on the attack. They haven't been playing the best today, but they have finally gone 1-0 up against Chile. They are currently sitting at the bottom of Group A.
Yes.
It's going to be a very, very tough climb upwards to try and finish top 4 by the end of tomorrow to make it to knockouts. But I think it's been a similar feeling. I think we've all been a bit disappointed by their performance so far.
Yeah. You know, the good thing about Thailand is that if they manage to win this game, their hopes of going to the next round will be much higher and much better than what they have already right now. So this game is very important for Thailand. But now we see Poland and Indonesia. I think Indonesia have only one draw, and the rest were just winning after another, and they are like going for the first. Not only going to the knockout stage, but they won't be first of their group.
I mean, it's very important for phase 4 as well in terms of drafting players, because the nations will get to choose 2 players from the nations that get knocked out. So you want to finish top of your group to get that first pick.
Exactly. And oh, that's very nice goal. Yes, if you manage to finish first in your group, in the knockout stage, you will play against the last in the other group, which is much easier to go further in the tournament.
Takea here on the attack again. Can they finally break the deadlock? 70 minutes in game at the moment. Defended again.
Yeah, Brazil, they are just trying to defend in this game all the time. And if they get a chance from a counter-attack to score a goal, and that's it, then they will just close it off. But yeah, I think Turkey, I mean, playing much better, creating more chances, but they need that goal, because in football, if you do not score goals, you will definitely concede.
I mean, 3 points is so important for them here, as they are currently sitting 4th in their group. But wouldn't surprise me if this game finishes 0-0, which will be very disappointing for Brazil, because when you just lose a game, you want to come back with a strong win.
Of course, and it's better to come back in this game, because Turkey are going also for the knockout stage if you do not beat them, you know? So if we can go so quickly to the scores at the moment, Italy are winning against Saudi, and Brazil, as we see, against Turkey is 0-0. Thailand are winning against Chile. Jordan winning 3-0 against Morocco. It seems that they learn how to keep the lead. Not only that, but also to score more goals.
I do love an underdog story, and Jordan, with them being the new nation as well, I feel like they have a good chance to make it to the knockouts.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. They are playing really well. You know, you just draw against the first, which is Indonesia, you can go all the way. Just believe in yourself.
Brazil here on the attack. Can they finally convert it to a goal?
Yeah, it is not easy. I mean, Turkey playing really well. Turkey are like really good in defense, and they reach the final box of their opponents a lot also, but you need to score goals.
I think what's worth mentioning as well with Brazil, in 2025, they hadn't lost a game before Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia handed them their first loss of the 2025 season.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a very good point. And as we can see at the moment, I think Italy scored the second goal against Saudi.
Just 2 in-game minutes here left for our feature match. Still sitting at 0-0. Will we see a last-minute winner?
Yeah, there's one more chance, or maybe not. Yeah, fair enough. I think it's fair result. Or we still have one more chance.
Can Takea do it? That game is going to finish 0-0. Disappointing for Brazil, but I suppose it's better than another loss.
In mental way, I think it's fine for them, because you know, if you lose a game or lose the second game, you more likely are going to lose it. But in their case, they defended. They just wanted to get out of 1 point, which is good for them. I think they are second or third, which is really good for them to finish the first day. So yeah, it's not too bad for them.
I think the Takea players they don't look too disappointed either. Brazil is a very, very tough opponent to come up against, isn't it, Abdul?
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, they are raging champions. They have Victor, who won the world champion before also. So, yeah, definitely it's really good. And Italy are winning against Saudi.
They are currently 2-0 up against Saudi Arabia. Indonesia still 2-0 up against Poland as well. But we are going to head over to Milos, for an interview with Takea.
Yes, indeed. Arda Golazo joining me here. Now, it's a big tie against a big team like Brazil, but Turkey has had quite a few ties today. How are you feeling through all of that today?
Well, yeah, compared to last year, it was really, really unexpected. But I believe that tomorrow we will give our best and we can finish first. We are capable of it, and we are very disappointed with the results, but it happens and we need to learn from the mistakes that we made. So tomorrow will be different, I promise, and that's all from me.
Do you feel that this is because the competition has just grown in strength, or what do you feel?
I think both also are personal mistakes as well. Yeah, we are good players. We managed to come here, but this doesn't mean that we can't make mistakes as well. I just want to say for our supporters that we love all of them, and I want to thank them so much because regardless of the result, we are so happy with their support, and that's what motivates us to fight even further.
Well, thank you very much. We'll let you go rest up and get ready for tomorrow. For all of you, though, we continue on as Mexico takes on Japan. Let's head to the booth.
Thank you very much, Milos. Mexico, Japan currently sitting at 2-2, 75th minute in game. Are you surprised that it's currently a draw?
4 goals, yes. I mean, 4 goals against 2 teams that probably they are not like the first or second teams, but maybe third and fourth teams. Japan, I think they need the win more than Mexico here.
I mean, both teams are currently sitting on 7 points, but Japan are sitting at 3rd place just because of goal difference. Mexico are in 4th. So I think, both teams, they do need that win. You are right, Abdul. I mean, where do you see this going?
Yeah, but even a draw is not bad for the both of them. They played really well for the first day, and to play against each other also in this round, I think a draw is also a good point for both of them.
Just 12 minutes left in game to decide how the table is going to sit. I mean, chances are it's probably going to be 8 points to both sides going into the final day of groups tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's really good for the first day, you know, because you are not last. Maybe you are not also first, but at least you are on the race, you know, on the track.
Mexico here on the counter-attack. Will we see a third goal from them?
Oh, that's really nice. Good defending. So Thailand, I believe, they won the game against Chile.
1-0.
Yes, Thailand, the last in their group. Now they have 4 points, which is, it gives them, let's say, a lot of encourage to come back tomorrow and maybe do something.
Corner kick here for Mexico. Just 5 minutes left in game. Can they convert this into a goal? Well saved by Japan.
Yeah, he was trying to play the corner to the second post, but the defense were just over there, you know. And yeah, 1 goal, nothing much left for this game.
Japan here with a throw-in. They do desperately want to have the win here. I mean, 3 points. Currently sitting at third. It will take them above Poland in the groups to sit at second. How important will that be going into the knockouts and to the final group stage tomorrow as well?
It is very important, you know. Even mentally, you know, that will definitely help the players to believe in themselves and to come back tomorrow even stronger and even better. And always we say that the first day is like the toughest day. But tomorrow, I think the players and the teams will be more playing more open, I would say, and trying to go for the goals and the points.
I mean, it takes time to settle into an arena. You know, especially if you're not used to competing at land. It's something that does take time, and hopefully, as you said, tomorrow, Abdul, they will be a lot calmer, and maybe we'll see the tables completely turn.
You are completely right.
Mexico here attempting to go for goal from outside of the box. Well defended. Japan on the counter-attack. We've got about 30 seconds left in game. Can Mexico convert?
Okay.
There we go. That one finishes 2-2.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Good game from both sides.
And it's two really good nations as well going up against each other. But do you think they'd be happy with the draw?
Yes, I think 2-2 against a tough opponent. Japan, I mean, they played really well today. And the same goes to Mexico. So I think even you can see the players, like, they are like fine. They are accepting the score. And yeah, they have 8 points so far, which is really good to start the first day.
It definitely is. I think tomorrow so much can change. You know, there's another full round of games. But for right now, we are going to throw you guys over to Milos for an interview with Mexico.
Yes, we are here with Mexico after another tie. This is the 8 points now for the Mexican squad. You've played against everybody in your group. How are you feeling after this long day?
I feel very satisfied about our performance. I think we had great comebacks, great results and reactions to the match. And I think we are in a really, really nice state for tomorrow.
Is there any team that you really fear from all of the other squads you faced off against so far?
No, not really.
So what do you have to say to all the others? Because now you're tied up 8 points with Japan, as we had just now. Anything you'd like to say to the rest of your group?
Not really. I think it's a very tough group, and it's going to be decided until the last match. I think the level is too high and anything can happen.
This is exactly why we play all this, why we're here for the best teams in the world to compete. Thank you very much, Arsenal style. Mexico continues to play tomorrow. However, we have to send it back to our studio to recap things.
Thank you so much. Yes, we are concluded for today. As Milos says, we get to do it all again tomorrow. 5 more matches on the road to one of these nations picking up that trophy on Saturday. 3 more days of action still to come your way in terms of the console side of things, but it is wrapped up with these highlights today, kicking off with Saudi Arabia and Italy. And then we go straight into the match we were just talking about there with Arsenal style. Mexico taking on Japan. It was 1-1 there and it ended 2-2 in the end, Chris.
Yeah, really tight results coming through, and I think that was another nice one for Mexico to get after their defeat, to get themselves to draw another point on the board. They were in a really nice spot in their group.
I mean, lots of obviously the teams are looking at the top 4 placings for all of the teams in the groups to progress through to the knockouts, as we just can conclude the final results from today for the console players. We just heard from the Saudi Arabia team. We had a great couple of wins. Obviously, they had a loss there to Italy. Brazil, stalemate between Turkey, Thailand. Can I shout and scream? They got their first win of the day over Chile, who are sitting just above them in the table. So they'll now both be on 4 points. Then we go to Group B. Jordan, what a big victory for them over Morocco. Mexico, Japan 2-2. And then Indonesia, well, they're just continuing that momentum they showed from last year, 3-1 over Poland there. Thailand, though, guys, we have to say take a bow.
We would give that one to Chris, will we? With Thailand getting one. Yeah, no, that's good for them, but they need to make sure they do crack on tomorrow. That was so crucial, though, that they got a hold of that. If they hadn't, they're really in a really tough spot. But 5 games again tomorrow for them. They could still go on and finish in the top 4 in this group, no problem.
Well, I heard Abdul, he was saying this is a really kind of crucial match to get a good result. So for Thailand to get their first victory, as they did at the end of the day, you know, how much can that help them for tomorrow, Cole?
It definitely means that when you're going home, you're not feeling quite as depressed, because if they'd have gone home off the back of losing that one, they would have felt awful. Getting that win at least will mean that they can build upon something. They actually do have a positive to take. You were saying, you know, is the positive the fact that they've got a match they can win? You were right. They could have won it. They did win it, and now they have a chance to re-go.
Indonesia then 13 points. I mean, they can have a pretty quiet day tomorrow and still probably go through.
Yeah, no, they I think they can relax at this stage. I think it's been a really good day. A little bit of a slower start, but got into the stride of things. I think for me, this is the group that we were kind of expecting. This is probably the way it was going to play out. Japan there, Mexico there. I think Mexico may be a slight surprise to see how well they have done. Not that they're in the top 4, but to see them really hanging in around that top area of that group table is nice to see.
And Jordan still have a real chance.
Yeah,
possibly at 5 points.
Yeah, with that win at the end of the day there, that's their first win. They've got a couple of big draws in the run-up to that. And yeah, 1 win jumps you straight into that top 4. If Jordan can beat Poland, then suddenly things are not simple for Poland. Poland, who have looked good at times, but 7 points puts you mid-table, and you've got Jordan breathing down your neck. It's not comfortable for them.
Well, a lot of matches have been concluded then. That is it for console side of things on day 1 here of the FIFAe World Cup. Loads to pick apart from that one. And we also want to talk to you about some of the players. We're talking about nations, aren't we? But actually, the players are pivotal for the nations. 2v2 is obviously the console. When we turn our attention to mobile, a bit later, it's 1v1. So we're going to bring you the Axe Player of the Day. Some of our team have cast their vote over who they think should be these are the nominations, who they think should win it. So these are the 4 you guys at home can vote for over on FIFA.gg. Cole, why have you picked 2 individuals here? I believe it's Iniesta?
Yeah, go Iniesta for me for Saudi Arabia and Henriquinho for Brazil. I think that for Saudi Arabia, they have had such a good day. Second in their group, which is beyond expectations, getting massive victories, and Go Iniesta has been at the heart of that. And then for Brazil, Henriquinho, he's come in this year. Brazil, they're doing not quite as brilliantly as we expected, but I just love the fact that they play a different style of eFootball. Every other team is focusing on one type of play. They're focusing on style and skill, and it's very Brazilian, it's very them, and he's come in and had the confidence to do that.
And for you, Shanks, and the Arsenal style, Chris?
Yeah, I think when you think of those other two teams, or you specifically when you think of Indonesia, a lot of people say like, oh, they're talking about being our boys, but Elga needs a little bit of love as well. I've really been loving how to see he's been playing specifically on the Mexican side of things as well for Arsenal. We've loved watching them play. They played scored some cracking goals today as well, and he was a big part of that as well.
Who would you pick out those four? If you could vote, because you can vote.
So I think for me it was kind of going to go potentially towards Iniesta for Sarri, just purely because of that game up against Brazil. He was brilliant.
The home pressure.
Exactly.
It must be pretty intense, mustn't it, for Iniesta? And they are sitting second in the table, as Cole said. Okay, well, I think you've heard quite a lot from the three of us. We haven't heard much from our reporter, CJ. So I am delighted to say we're going to hear from him now. CJ, where are you?
Well, that's it for day one of the FIFAe World Cup 2025 console edition, and it was absolute chaos. We saw some upsets left, right and centre. Saudi Arabia taking down Brazil. Some other teams that I was expecting to go a little bit better that are underperforming. So I'm looking forward to tuning in, being here day two, to see if those teams bounce back or if teams like Saudi Arabia can keep surprising everyone.
There he is. Love to hear from CJ. I want to get him out and about a bit more, roaming around.
I've not seen him
do
anything.
I know.
Honestly, what's he even here for?
He's been at lunch the last 4 hours. Unbelievable.
He's got so much energy, and I think, if he was just bopping around the set and maybe trying to speak to people, they'd be like, who is this guy?
I mean, he's only had a 6-hour flight from Copenhagen where we were. He can't believe his luck. It's normally about 18 hours deep by the time he gets to a place. So yeah, he's still ready to go. Right,
final thoughts from today, from what we've seen, some nations that have impressed you, nations that maybe haven't so much.
I think the big surprise for me over the whole thing is Thailand. I really was expecting a little bit more. We had that whole conversation last year about this player coming through, the current world champion on their roster. We're going to get to see him next year, and they haven't performed yet. And we had higher expectations. I kind of had them in and around fighting that top four. Right now, they might not have made it out of the group, so we need to see more from them tomorrow.
Yeah, Jin Suri, he's going to have a big talking to tonight, I'm sure. Inwardly to himself, I'm sure, because he expects more.
He's so young as well, 16 years old, young enough that, as you mentioned at the top of the show, he wasn't able to compete in this despite helping them qualify last year. That's an enormous amount of pressure. So we're going to learn a lot about how he's able to deal with that at his young age. We know that he can deal with the pressure when he's winning. When he's losing, it's a very different type of pressure, especially when you have the weight of your own home country not weighing you down, but certainly there in the back of your mind. I'd say for me that the big story today is probably Saudi Arabia as well. They didn't make it out the groups last year. They were one win away, and they've proven with some huge victories, particularly that one against Brazil, holding out with a man down as well, that they're capable of getting wins. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them tomorrow continue.
Yeah, their second table toppers from today are Italy and Indonesia in their respective groups. But it's only 5 matches played. We've got 5 more still to come tomorrow. So let's have a look at tomorrow's schedule for you in terms of eFootball console. Tomorrow's matches then, we start with the ones that we've been talking quite a lot about, the maybe underperformers from day one. Thailand, they take on table toppers of Group A, Italy. Then we see Brazil, Italy, Japan, Indonesia, Mexico, Indonesia, and then rounding out the schedule, Turkey and Brazil. Fiery 5 matchups.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on how some of these games and the permutations as well. As we get later in the day, we may well focus on a couple of different ones, to be honest with you as well. But yeah, no, it's I think that first game is really important. Thailand going up against Italy. Let's see what you can do. Can you turn that one around? That's the one I'm really looking at to kick off things tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's how it started today.
Yeah.
In Thailand, they got a 1-0 loss, a game that probably could have been 0-0 as well, to be honest. It was really nervy, and you think if Thailand got that win, they're feeling comfortable, suddenly it's a very different day. So it's literally a second chance for Thailand in particular, but for the rest of these teams to keep on growing.
Exactly. Well, that's tomorrow's schedule. A bit later, we start our matches at midday, lunchtime, 12 o'clock for you guys, if you're coming back to join us. But thank you so much for joining us here on day one of the FIFAe World Cup 2025. eFootball console is what you've just been watching. I want to say thank you very much to Cole and to Chris and to our entire team who have helped us put this great show on. But for now, we're going to say goodbye, but only for a short while, because we get to do it all again in about an hour and a half. We start eFootball Mobile. So come back and join us for that.
How can real-time visibility across our hydrocarbon supply chain
help keep our shelves stocked?
How can achieving a 99.8% delivery record
Help bring us together?
By continually asking how, we provide reliable access to energy for everyone we serve.
Another day asking how.
Another day serving my customers.
Extra! Read all about it. World Cup prep begins.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Training for World Cup in North America has begun. And you would not believe what these guys are up to.
White 17, hot!
Preparations spiral out of control across the globe as the hunt for World Cup glory intensifies. Buckle up, folks. We're just getting started.
What was that?
Smells finer than the finest perfumes. New Axe Fine Fragrance.
The digital world speaks the language of zeros and ones. And now, with advanced digital systems, countless new numbers join the field. A 7 can break the pattern. A 9 can be the game changer. At Globant, cutting-edge technologies are at the core of everything we do, driving new and innovative solutions to shape the future of FIFA and companies across every industry. We are the official tournament sponsor of the FIFAe Finals 2025. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
الابتكار والتطور للجميع مش بس للمغامرين.
تصميم الكيا K4 وهيكلها الرياضي أول شيء يلفت انتباهك.
تصميم مرة حلو، بس بالنسبة لي أنا التكنولوجيا تفرض نفسها.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Slim like a whisper, sharp in the hand, and every unplanned. Every move got his game, smooth like ice, cold like flame. What's your edge?
Hello, Moto.